From Red Wilson Field in Yarmouth, Dennis, Massachusetts, it's Cape Cod baseball for Game 25 of the CCBL season, and the Kettleers, for the third time this season, will take on the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Hi, everybody, and welcome back into the Kettleers Radio Network. Joe Pratt alongside Alex Rocco. And Alex, we got a good one between the 15-9 Kettleers, the 15-8-1 YD Red Sox. Just what excites you about this matchup?
And Joe, it's a battle between two of the top teams so far this summer on the Cape, but this is a YD team that has struggled over their last few games. They've dropped the last two. And we really haven't seen them play consistent baseball over the last few games. And on the flip side for Cotuit, they've won their last two games. And last night was a real pitching and defense type of victory and a win that head coach Mike Roberts loves to pick up. And the pitching, and more specifically the bullpen pitching for Cotuit, really showed out last night.
Yeah, it was. It was another 3-1 win for the Kettleers, and taking advantage of a couple infield mistakes for the Bourne Braves, and that led to two unearned runs that would have been the difference of the ball game. And of course, they did go on to win that ball game, but the bullpen is definitely going to need to be relied upon tonight with Harrison Bodendorf on the bump. Has been solid through his first 5 appearances, but who knows how long we'll see him go into this ball game.
Yeah, we've seen Harrison Bodendorf work in a multitude of different roles, usually coming out of bullpen, but today he's making a start, so should be good to see what the tall lefty has in store.
And he'll be going up against his counterpart. It's Carson Ballard out of Georgia Tech. He's appeared in 2 games so far this season for the Red Sox, making 1 start and pitched just over 4 innings. So why don't we run through the Kettleers lineup and how do they face this right-hander today, Alex?
Well, leading things off is the designated hitter, Devin Taylor. Batting second is Tanner Thatch. Hitting third is the catcher, Matt Klein. Batting cleanup is Brandon Compton. Hitting fifth and in center field is Charles Davalon. Batting sixth and at third base is Nolan Araki. Hitting seventh and playing second is Jaron Advincula. Hitting eighth and playing shortstop is Tyler Cerny. And rounding out the Cotuit order is the right fielder, Easton Winfield.
So it'll be Devin Taylor. The infield will shift slightly to the pull side for him. And the first pitch of today's game is just outside for a called ball 1. Devin Taylor ahead in the count 1-0. First pitch being thrown at 5:03. Clear skies over Dennis Yarmouth High School and Merrill Red Wilson Field. The 1-0 pitch is high and wide to Devin Taylor, and the lefty takes once more. It's 2-0. So Carson Ballard appeared in 4 1/3 innings so far, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks with 3 strikeouts. His 2-0 is taken up and away once more. Devin Taylor now takes control, 3-0. So Devin Taylor now 8 for 24 since returning from Team USA, and the 3-0 pitch is down the heart of the plate, and Carson Ballard gets over the top with that 3-1 fastball. Taylor, his 4th straight game in the leadoff spot, the 3-1. Big swing and a miss, and the count's full. This will be Taylor's 15th game played of the summer, has reached in 11 of those. Worked a good count here to start off the game against Carson Ballard, who awaits, and now from the windup he deals a fastball that is popped up into foul territory. It goes and out of play. So plenty of fans lining the left and right field lines. Cotuit is on the first base side wearing the all maroon Cotuit jerseys with the navy blue Cotuit etched across the chest. As Ballard is ready once more with this 3-2. Here it comes. Taylor rolls it on the ground towards second. Second baseman Kim charges in on it a couple steps and throws in time at first to get Taylor there. So he worked the count all the way full. A nice job by Ballard to work his way back into that count and get the first out of this ball game.
Ballard falling behind 3-0. First 3 pitches of his ball game, but battling back in against Taylor and working a softly hit ground ball to the center.
His 2nd straight start after being reinserted into this Cotuit lineup. Now he punishes one. Deep right center field, going back on a tippet. He will watch that fly. Tanner Thatch with his 7th home run of the summer, and the Kettleers waste no time to take a 1-0 lead at Red Wilson Field.
That ball was crushed off the bat of Tanner Thatch. Got a pitch that he can drive from Carson Ballard and wasted no time just rocketing that deep into the right center field gap and over the wall.
4 home runs for the Kettleers the last time these two teams played at Red Wilson. And the first one so far, there's one gone, and Matt Klein swats one foul high over the netting down the left field line. And that'll creep onto the football field that is just beyond the left field corner. Of course, it is a relatively small ballpark around, well, it's not marked, so it's around 350 to 355, we think, to straightaway center. As Matt Klein takes above the letters, and it's 1-1. Pretty short to the outfield corners as well, kind of shaped like a triangle. But Tanner Thatch putting that one into the right center field alleyway, deep into the trees. Likely a home run in most CCBL ballparks. The 1-1 pitch to Matt Klein. The lefty takes a breaking ball for a called strike 2. So that is the 7th home run of the season for Tanner Thatch. It goes 380 feet. It was 95 miles an hour off of his bat. 1-2 pitch to Klein. Fastball hit hard on the ground towards third. Gloved by Gallagher. Throws up the line, and that throw is not in time at first. Klein beats it out. It was a nice job by Gallagher just to glove that ball down. Matt Klein beats it out, and that's back-to-back base knocks for the Kets against Ballard.
Klein just flaring it right down the third base line. Gallagher moving quickly, went with the backhand, just doing a nice job keeping it in front of him, but his throw not in time as Klein beat it out.
Klein gets back into the lineup, hasn't played in a couple of games. Hasn't played since Thursday at Hyannis. Ballard comes set, now working from the stretch. The first pitch to Brandon Compton is off the end of his bat, a two-hopper that rattles off the end of the glove of Gallagher and goes into left field. So the Kettleers will put 3 straight base runners aboard, and that one also will go down as a hit. So the Kettleers will have runners on first and second with one gone.
This top of this Cotuit offense really starting to put things together. 3 consecutive base knocks for the Kettleers, and this is something that Mike Roberts has talked a lot about, getting production early on and within the first 3 innings of ball games.
Yeah, very even production last night, as you mentioned, though, with the top half of the order getting 5 hits, the bottom half of the order also getting 5 hits, 10 total hits for the Kets at Bourne last night in their 3-1 win, as that one's rolled on the ground by Charles Davallon, who also gets reinserted into the lineup today, now down in the count 0-1. So Brandon Compton takes his lead at first, Matt Klein at second. Kettleers already with a 1-0 advantage. Carson Ballard, all he's trying to do here is escape this top of the first inning. Takes a long look in, now he comes set with the blonde glove just in front of his belt, takes a look at second, and now the throw home is just above the cleats of Charles Davallon to even up this count at 1-1. So Davallon gets back into the lineup. This will be his 11th game played this season. So far is 6 for 28, 214 hitter. Batting in the 5 spot in Mike Roberts' lineup today. Now the 1-1 pitch. Gets a piece of it, but hits it off of his front foot, and it's foul 1-2. So there's a flag in left field just above the tall left field fence. The American flag that is atop of that scoreboard, blowing towards straightaway left. Playing to the pull side is the wide E infield. As Ballard is set once more, peeking at Klein. Now he throws home. Davallon rolls that one towards the Kettleers dugout on the first base side and foul to stay alive at 1-2. So Ethan Petrie plays at first base. He's out of South Carolina. Cameron Kim plays at second. Phoenix Call gets another start at shortstop, has been the everyday man for Scott Pickler's Red Sox there at short. Gavin Gallagher has already made a difference in his first 10 games played here at Dennis Yarmouth High School. So now Ballard comes set. The 1-2 once more to Davallon is roped on the ground towards third. Up with it gunning to second is Gallagher. The relay on to first is not going to be in time. So they get the lead out at second. One runner moves up to third. That's Matt Klein. So the Kets will have runners on the corners with 2 gone now.
Davallon taking it the opposite way, right at the third baseman Gallagher, who comes up with it, makes a strong throw over to second, but Cameron Kim didn't have enough time to complete that relay throw.
RJ Austin makes his return to this wide E roster this summer. He's playing in left field. Drew Burris in straightaway center. Will Tippett plays right. Anthony Martinez is the DH today for the wide E Red Sox. Currently at the top of the East Division and trying to right the ship as they have struggled to their July month so far, and we're about halfway through it as of now, it being July 15th. As the first pitch to Nolan Naraki misses below his knees, and it's now 1-0. So the runners will take their leads on first and third. Davalon is at first, Klein at third. There are two gone in this top of the first inning. Nolan Naraki from the right side. The righty Ballard throws a fastball low and outside to push the count to 2-0. Naraki playing in his 20th game for the Kets this season. Entering this ball game with a 279 clip, is second on the team in batting average. 2-0 pitch. Naraki takes a strike low and outside. It's 2-1. Of course, second on the team to Jaron Advincula, who went 3 for 4 last night, elevating that batting average up to 395 on the season. And now the 2-1 pitch to Naraki. He watches it all the way in. It skips into the glove of Talmadge LaCroix, who's playing catcher today. Gloves that down, and it's a 3-1 count to the right-handed swinger out of South Carolina. Trees lining the center field fence all the way down towards the right field corner where the Kettleers bullpen is. Now the 3-1 offering from Ballard is down the heart of the plate to push this count full. So Ballard got to figure out a way to find this finishing pitch. It's been a very difficult top of the first inning for him. Now he comes set. Middle infielders playing back. Corners even with their bags. Naraki reaches out over the plate, sends a one-hopper to Call, who reaches to his right, backhands that one and throws to first in time to get the third out of this frame. So the Kettleers will leave runners on the corners, but they knocked 3 base hits, including the 7th home run of the season off the bat of Tanner Thatch. So Cotuit leads at 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Bortolotti construct. Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
So the Kettleers are already in control from Red Wilson Field. Harrison Bodendorf heads out to the bump, getting his second start for the Kets in this young season. And how will the Red Sox line up against him today, Alex?
Well, the leadoff man for YD is the center fielder Drew Burris, batting second and playing shortstop Phoenix Call. Hitting third and in left field RJ Austin, batting fourth. And is the designated hitter today? That would be Anthony Martinez, batting fifth and playing first base is Ethan Petrie, batting sixth, and getting the start at second base is Cameron Kim. Behind the dish and hitting seventh, Talmadge LaCroix. Batting eighth and at the hot corner, Gavin Gallagher. And rounding out this YD order is the right fielder Will Tippett.
So it'll be Drew Burris playing in his 18th game this season for the Red Sox. He's out of Georgia Tech, batting 133 on the summer. Small right-handed swinger with a wide open batting stance, upright from the right side of the box. First pitch from Harrison Bodendorf. The lefty dials in a fastball low and inside, and that's called a strike one to start off Burris. So Burris not getting the start the last time these two teams played, was part of the Team USA national roster. And now the next pitch from Bodendorf is an 0-1 pitch that he's way out in front of and rolls that one on the ground towards the YD dugout and foul. So quickly down 0-2 is Drew Burris Harrison Bodendorf getting his second start for the Kets this summer. His first one was his first appearance of the year. That was in game 4 at Harwich. The 0-2 pitch is down in the dirt. 1-2 the count now to Burris. Went 2 1/3 innings against the Mariners, allowed 3 hits, struck out 4, and then went on to make 4 relief appearances in a row after that. And through 5 appearances, has a 1.69 ERA. Next breaking ball finds the dirt once more, and it's 2-2 to Drew Burris. 58 games this past season at Georgia Tech, was a .381 hitter. 25 of his 83 base knocks left the yard as the 2-2 pitch to him. He's way out ahead of that breaking ball and swings and misses at strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Harrison Bodendorf. Starts off this YD Red Sox lineup. And there's one gone in the bottom of the first inning for Phoenix Call.
It was a nice job by Harrison Bodendorf to get ahead of Burris there and get him down on strike, something that Burris has done a lot so far this summer, that being his 21st strikeout in 18 games.
And now here's Phoenix Call, playing in his 25th game of the summer and takes a strike 1 there. Adding at a .250 clip, 18 hits so far. But a massive threat once he's able to get on the paths. 14 stolen bases. 0-1 pitch. Lifted down the right field line. Charging in on it Winfield towards the line. Reaching up, and he flags that down for the second out. So making that play in right field, Easton Winfield. He gets his first start there since making his first start of the season at Hyannis on Thursday. Charles Davallon gets back into the lineup and plays in straightaway center. Brandon Compton in left. Nolan Naraki plays the hot corner at third. Tyler Cerny gets reinserted into the lineup and plays at shortstop. Jaron Advincula, the everyday 2B, is back there again today. And Tanner Thatch, his second straight start at first. That one taken for a ball beneath the knees of R.J. Austin, and it's 1-0. Matt Klein doing the catching today. Hasn't played in 2 straight games for the Kets. It's been Grant J behind the dish, and now the 1-0 pitch to Austin. Gets all of that one in. Ropes it down the left field line, but way foul. Plenty of fans in their lawn chairs down the left and right field lines. Some fans in the home grandstand just to the left of that third base dugout for YD. And there is a road grandstand just beyond the first base dugout for the Kets. So plenty of Cotuit faithful watching the game from down there. The 1-1 pitch to Austin. Bounces in front of home plate. Count 2-1. Plenty of fans in their lawn chairs right behind us as we are pretty much looking right up the third base line. Just behind the Kettleers on deck circle. 2-1 pitch to Austin. Blasted to straightaway center field. Davallon going back to the fence, leaping up, and that ball is gone. R.J. Austin evens up this game at 1-1. Taking Harrison Bodendorf to deep center, and that's a 2-out home run for Austin to make it a 1-1 ball game.
First home run of the summer for R.J. Austin. Got a pitch he could drive that Bodendorf left over the heart of the plate, and that's a pitch that he's going to want to have back. Is got the first 2 guys out of the inning, but just leaves a pitch right down the heart of the plate, and Austin makes no mistake.
This is a scary part of the lineup for YD as Bodendorf throws a breaking ball low and outside to Anthony Martinez. It's the only lefty-on-lefty matchup so far at the start of this game for YD as they have 8 righties in the lineup. The 1-0 pitch catches the zone low and outside. 1-1 to Martinez. Martinez has been doing a lot of what R.J. Austin just did a moment ago. Back-to-back games with a solo home run. He did that 9 times this past season at UC Irvine as he takes one that goes back to the backstop, and it's 2-1 to the hard-hitting lefty who's DH today. A pair of guys who are making their return to this Red Sox roster. Played in 5 games at YD last summer, did Martinez. So did R.J. Austin as the 2-1 pitch is down the heart of the plate and called a strike 2. So count evens up at 2-2 to Anthony Martinez. Kettleers infield playing straight up, as is the outfield. And the 2-2 offering from Bodendorf. Breaking ball, fanned at and missed. Strike 3. Martinez caught fishing. And that is the 3rd out of the bottom of the first inning. Not before YD is able to get their first home run of this game and even up this score at 1-1. So a 1-1 tie as we go into the top of the second here on the Kettleers Radio Network. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Jaron Advincula will lead off this top of the second inning for the Kettleers, as the Red Sox and Kettleers exchanged a pair of solo home runs in that first inning. It's 1-1. Advincula takes a ball that nearly hits off of his shoes, and he's ahead in the count 1-0. So it'll be 7-8-9 to face Carson Ballard, who's back out there for a second inning of work. Advincula, Cerny, and Winfield. The 1-0 pitch rolled on the ground just above the pitcher's mound, and Phoenix Call has it behind the bag, gunning to first in time to get Advincula there for the first out of this second inning.
This second inning is going to be crucial for Carson Ballard out on the mound. Ran into some trouble in the first inning. Got the first out of Devin Taylor, then 3 consecutive hits. Of course, the solo home run by Tanner Thatch. But this inning will prove vital to see if he can get into a groove.
Yeah, that's exactly what Ballard's trying to do here. He comes set, working primarily from the stretch, and dials in a first pitch strike, low and outside to Tyler Cerny. Cerny not getting the start in yesterday's game at Bourne, but 2 days ago celebrating his 21st birthday. 0-1 pitch taken low in the dirt all this past season at Georgia Tech, as that one's launched straight back up the middle. Cameron Kim backhands it though to rob Tyler Cerny of a base hit.
That's something we've seen a lot of from Tyler Cerny over this stretch, where he's struggled to record base hits. He's hit the ball well, hit the ball hard on the line right there. Just right at the second baseman, Cameron Kim.
Yeah, they were playing shifted a little bit. The second baseman, Kim, playing a lot closer to second base than he normally would. But now he's playing deep in the hole at second with his cleats on the grass and the first pitch beneath his knee. Shortstop Phoenix will be playing directly behind the bag at second. Third baseman Gallagher even with the bag and about 25 feet off the line there. Ballard comes set, the 1-0 pitch to Winfield, taken on the breaking ball on the outer edge, and the count evens up at 1-1. So Winfield appearing in 1 game so far for the Kettleers. He went 0 for 3 at Hyannis on Thursday. Did work a walk and struck out twice. 1-1 pitch. This one launched straight back up the middle, and that'll creep into center field. It is the first hitter with 2 gone in the second.
Cotuit has hit the ball well so far, that being their 4th hit of the ball game, and now heading back to the top of this order. But hard line drive from Tyler Cerny, Easton Winfield sending one right back up the middle. This is a Cotuit offense that's hitting the ball a lot harder today.
And this is definitely the ballpark that you want to do it in. Incredibly shallow to straightaway center field, and now the lineup card will flip back over the top for Devin Tate. Glove of Talmadge LaCroix. 0-1, already making their second rotation of the lineup in this second inning. Ballard takes a look at first. Will throw there. Winfield plops back on bag safely. Only had about a 3-step lead. So this being the second time we've been to Red Wilson Field, Kettleers winning 9-2 the last time these two teams played. As the 0-1 pitch, 1-1. That was a game where the Kettleers got some great bullpen performances. Of course, 4 homers already with 1 today. But this is a wide E roster and lineup that can really make you pay. Ballard comes set, the 1-1 pitch. Taylor lifts that one, twisting out of play on the left side and foul towards Plenty of fans sitting down that left field line. So the old Red Wilson field didn't have any right and left field corners. So a lot of those fans would be sitting there without a net. They're right there just beyond the YD dugout. As our fans down the right field line, there was also no net beyond the dugout there. So the netting used to end beyond.
Things play first when his number is called. Things play first when his number is called. Doing all the right things right now this summer.
Klein ropes one on the ground towards second. 3-hopper for Cam. Strand runners on first and third. Not before taking a 2-1 lead on Devin Taylor's RBI single. So the Kettleers up one will go to the home half of the second. You're listening to Cotuit Baseball here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square up.
Pauly. And now he hammers this one deep left center field, headed to the left field fence, and that ball is gone. Back-to-back inning. What a way to introduce yourself to this YD roster for Talmadge LaCroix. The second pitch he sees this summer leaves the yard.
And once again, this is another pitch that Bodendorf just leaves right down the heart of the plate, similar to the mistake that he made against RJ Austin. And Talmadge LaCroix crushes that to deep left field. Compton gave it a run, but all he could do was watch it fly as it sailed over the fence in left field.
And now it's Gavin Gallagher, another relatively new addition to this YD lineup. Did not appear in the first two games against the Kettleers this season. And now the righty takes a ball in the dirt, scooped up by Matt Klein. Now ahead in the count 1-0. Gallagher getting the start at third base today. And off to a stellar start to his campaign so far. Next pitch from Bodendorf is a 1-0 breaking ball that dots just above his thighs, and it's 1-1. Through 13 games so far this season, Gallagher a .256 hitter. And getting another start today as a 1-1 pitch, now beneath his knees. Count elevated to 2-1. 11 hits so far for Gallagher, 6 of which going for extra bases, 2 homers and 4 doubles. Next pitch from Bodendorf is 2-1, finds the dirt, and over the glove of Matt Klein it goes. 3-1 the count now to Gallagher. So really struggling to figure out a way to get that third out of the inning. Back-to-back 2-out homers, and once more Bodendorf falling behind in the count here. So YD threatening to extend this bottom of the second. Now 2-2, and the 3-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Nice breaking ball there, and Gallagher's back to 3-2. Bodendorf been a high strike thrower to this point this season. No walks already today, and now the 3-1 pitch. Waiting for it is Gallagher, and he lifts it into straightaway center field. It takes 2 hops into the glove of Charles Davalon. And that is the first base hit of the day for YD that did not leave the ballpark. 3 total, and they have a 2-out runner on first.
This is a YD team that really thrives when they're faced in 2-out situations, hitting .260 so far this summer in 2-out spots, and not trying to do too much was Gavin Gallagher, who just flared it in the center field, and that'll drop down.
Runner on first is Gallagher, so now from the first time today, Harrison Bodendorf working from the stretch. He checks back at first, and Gallagher's in there standing. Gallagher already with 3 stolen bases on the summer, hasn't been caught yet. And the new batter is Will Tippett. Upright batting stance with the all-black batting helmet, all-black bat. He takes a ball outside. It's 1-0 on the fastball there from Bodendorf. YD, of course, wearing their Red Sox uniforms, the home whites for the Red Sox, exactly the way you see them at Fenway Park. Cotuit with the maroon pinstripe pants, maroon tops. The next pitch is a 1-0 fastball that's inside and dotted there for a called strike 1. So Tippett back to 1-1, facing Bodendorf for the first time, who entering this ball game at a 1.69 ERA across 10 2/3 innings pitched. Did not allow a home run through the first couple appearances of his season, as this is a broken bat. Flare into straightaway center. Davalon charging in. It falls at his feet. He's up with it and will look the runner back to second. Gallagher stops there, and that's back-to-back singles for the YD Red Sox with 2 outs in this bottom of the second.
That broken bat shattered everywhere. Part of it ended up right at third base where Nolan Araki's standing currently right now, but just once again, another 2-out base knock. Tippett got a pitch in on the hands from Bodendorf, but just flared it in, and back-to-back singles here have the Red Sox threatening.
So it'll be Drew Burris now with runners on first and second and 2 gone. Infield shifted to the pull side for him, and it's a breaking ball to Burris for a called strike 1. Nolan Naraki is playing about 10 feet off the line at third. Tyler Cerny, medium depth short. Darren Advincula is holding the runner on at second. Tanner Thatch not holding the runner on at first. He's playing pretty far off the line, maybe about 15 feet. Outfielders are playing straight up, and the 0-1 pitch to the right-handed swinging Burris is on the way and hit hard on the ground towards second. Advincula looks to second and instead decides to throw to first. Tanner Thatch receives it for the third out of this bottom of the second frame. So the YD Red Sox are able to knot this score up at 2s. The second solo shot of the game. It's off the bat of Talmadge LaCroix, and it's 2-2 as we go to the top of the third inning, but not before we check in for the first time with our sideline reporter, Del Huffman, with more.
We draft 3 of our 2024 Kettleers, and now 4, but we'll get to that. Thatcher Hurd, 89th overall pick for the New York Yankees. Sean Keyes, 125th overall pick for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he was also with us in the summer of 2023. And Jansen Kiesel, the 186th overall pick, and he's going to the Tampa Bay Rays, also with us in 2023 and 2024. We've seen all of these guys chasing their dream out here this summer, and it feels like it was just yesterday that they were playing here in the Cape. And it's great to have them here with us, but it's even better to see them go on and do these huge things. And this just in, Cam Hill, 252nd pick for the and we're so excited to watch these 4 guys as they continue on in their career. And there's lots more coming later from one of our other interns, Jeff.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be able to dive into that with Shane Patagna in a few moments, but yeah, really great to see a lot of guys who played on this roster this season and already making that quick turnaround to be selected in the MLB draft. And geez, there are just so many names to keep up with, Adele. It's crazy to think, but that's great reporting by you to keep up to date and let us know who's still being picked as the 10th round, or what will be the 10th round today is going to be concluding here. And maybe it just did conclude. We don't really know, but still pretty cool to follow along with this draft and keep up to date with all these Kettleers going to MLB franchises.
Yes, and be sure to tune in to the Kettleers Instagram if you want to stay up to date to the new players being drafted and keep up with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Adele. As always, as we move into this top of the third inning, a 1-1 count now to Brandon Compton. He's facing Carson Ballard for the second time. Ballard comes set. He's working from the stretch. Base is empty. 1-1 pitch is in off the hands of Compton. Popped up into foul territory and just out of play. So a 1-2 count now to Compton. But Adele mentioning you can keep up to date on the Kettleers players who are being drafted to their future MLB franchises. And she mentioned Chris Jones doing a great job on the graphics on the Instagram, posting on Twitter and Instagram, letting you know where these Kettleers guys are going. But of course, he's the man behind all those great graphics that you're seeing on the Kettleers Instagram page. As that one's roped on the ground straight away to center field and squeezes through the middle infielders. And that's back-to-back singles for Brandon Compton.
Compton wasting no time, grounding that straight back up the middle as he continues to really have a nice few.
And Compton just continues to swing a hot bat for the Kettleers. Didn't reach in his first 3 games of the season, but now since then has reached first base in all but 1 game. He's played over 20 games since then, too. Charles Davalon gets that one off the end of his bat and rolls it foul. So he's down on the count 0-1. Reached already today on a fielder's choice. It was to the third baseman, Gavin Gallagher. But Davalon also getting back in the lineup. Didn't get the start in yesterday's game at Bourne. His last appearance Thursday at Hyannis. He went 0 for 2 with a walk. Ballard takes a look at first before coming set. And the 0-1 pitch. Davallon watches a pitch go by just outside, and it's 1-1 to him. So we heard from Adele Huffman yesterday, Davallon, sport that he played growing up, ice hockey. Of course, fitting, being from Quebec. But playing his high school baseball down in Tampa, Florida, as that one's taken at thigh height for a called strike 2.
Go to work, Chuck. Go to work.
Going into that game at Hyannis was riding a streak where he was able to get on base in 3 straight starts for him. Reaching base against Hyannis, unable to knock a base knock. And he is 2 of his last 12 going into this one, as that one's launched on the ground. It's off the glove of Cameron Kim. He's looking for it but can't find it. Davallon advances to first, and Cameron Kim has been tested over there at second, and back-to-back guys will reach base in this 3rd inning.
Kim will be charged with the error as that ball was hit right at him over there at second base. Just had that ground ball eat him up, kicked off his heel. Then Kim was looking straight up in the air, but the ball was right in front of him as Davallon, good speed, beats it out.
Davallon, a big lead at first. Compton, closer lead at second. He's being held on by the man Kim, leaving a big hole on the right side of the infield for the right-hander Naraki. He lays down the bunt down the first base line. Charging is the first baseman Petrie, but that will creep into the foul territory grass just to the right of that right field line.
We've seen Naraki lay down a lot of sacrifice bunts so far this summer, but coming up in a big spot here, looking just to put a bunt down, get the runners in scoring position here, and especially with a guy who's standing in the on-deck circle, Jaron Advincula, who's been swinging such a hot bat, is a critical play for Naraki to get the bunt down.
Yeah, trying to advance these runners into scoring position. Obviously, runners on first and second, nobody out. It's a perfect time to do that. We'll see if Mike Roberts dials it up again. It's an 0-1 count to Nolan Naraki. Ballard throws, showing the bunt is Naraki. He pulls it back and takes a strike 2.
Pitch was low in the zone. Naraki thought it was going to be called. The ball shook his head after that was called.
You know, there's a chance that that could be called a strike because he's going down into the bunt angle there. Likely a bit lower, or at least lower looking from the ump's perspective if he's standing straight up. But now he's down in the count 0-2 with runners on first and second. Still nobody gone. And now time called by the umpiring crew. That is going to be a pitch clock violation by Carson Ballard. Back-to-back games where we've seen that happen, Alex, and the count will be 1-2 now.
Also seen a lot of balks that happened in last night's game against Bourne. So a lot of pitching miscues we've seen over the last 2-3 games.
1-2 pitch. Naraki with the plate, flares it towards shortstop. Easy play for Phoenix Call, who hauls that down in shallow left center. So Nolan Naraki is the first out of this top of the 3rd inning. And with 1 gone and 2 on, Jaron Advincula will dig in.
Naraki just flared at that 1-2 pitch, was on the outside corner, just hit it high looping just right to the shortstop, Phoenix Call, for the first out.
Naraki trying to wait back on that off-speed pitch, as you saw. Lifting it towards shortstop, and there's 1 gone in this inning. Jaron Advincula will take low and outside, 1-0. Advincula batting from the left side, playing at second base once again. He's 0 for 1. Grounded out to short his last time up. But the infield was shifted way to the left. It could have been a single straight back up the middle. That's where they're shifted once more. Big hole on the left side of the infield as Call holds the runner on at second. And Advincula takes a fastball outside. It's 1-1. You mentioned Advincula's great day at the plate a night ago. That was his 12th multi-hit game of the season, going 3 for 4. Now the 1-1. Advincula reaches down beneath the zone and swats that one foul above the wide E dugout. Mike Roberts standing in the third base coach's box. There's a lot of foul territory behind him as one player will run and grab that baseball before this 1-2 pitch to Advincula. The bullpen is down the left field line for YD, and it's in the right field corner for the Kettleers. Ballard will come set with the blonde glove in front of his belt. 1-2 pitch. Jams Advincula. Popped up on the infield. Ballard towards the third base line will pull that down in the infield grass. for a crucial out number 2. So after the Kettleers put runners on first and second to start off this inning, a pair of weak contact pop-outs worked by the Red Sox.
Carson Ballard just running in that fourth pitch of the at-bat again, sharing that vincula in on his hands. Really couldn't do much with it as he just flared it right in front of the pitcher's mound as makes the play for the second out, but a really nice response by Ballard out on the mound after allowing the first two guys to reach base.
So here's Tyler Cerny. He'll take a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1. It's a righty on righty matchup. His second time facing Ballard. Last time up, hit a scorching line drive straight back up the middle. It was backhanded though by Cameron Kim. He was playing pretty much straight away towards center as this one's off the end of the bat of Cerny, lifted towards left field. An easy play for R.J. Austin, who reaches up and pulls down the third out of this top of the third inning. So the Kettleers are unable to do anything with the first two leadoff men on. They go 3 up, 3 down after that. And the heart of this YD lineup will be coming up to the plate when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Since 1980, the O'Rourke family has been catering Cape Cod clam bakes.
Into his windup. The 1-1 pitch is lifted towards left center field. Compton going back towards the fence. It bounces over his head off the base of the wall. He will throw that into Tyler Cerny as Phoenix Call puts the brakes on at second with a leadoff stand-up double.
The second double so far as he hit that one well into deep left field. Took a bounce off the fence there as just like that, YD has a runner in scoring position to open this bottom of the third.
This is a really tough part of the lineup to face, especially when you give up a leadoff double. So that makes Harrison Bodendorf's job that much harder. Facing R.J. Austin, who's 1 for 1 with a solo shot. Now he takes low and inside. That ball will get back to the backstop, and the runner moves up 90 feet to third base. So now, just like that, the YD Red Sox have the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. And Mike Roberts will walk out to the Kettleers mound. Entire Kettleers infield will surround him. And as he creeps across that first base line dirt, he will point to the right field corner, and that'll be the first pitching change of the game for the Kettleers. So with the score at 2-2, a runner just 90 feet away at third, Phoenix Call led off this third inning with a stand-up double. And then on the first pitch to R.J. Austin and missed way low and inside, he advances to third. So it's a 1-0 count to R.J. Austin. The Kettleers trying to keep YD exactly where they're at 2-2. 6 hits on the board for the Kettleers, 5 hits on the board for the YD Red Sox. And a new arm will come into the game for the Kettleers. We'll let you know who it is when we return here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod.
Discover a treasure of nearly 70,000 books at the Isaiah Thomas bookstore right here in Cotuit. Founded in 1969 and relocated to a restored 1860s Crocker family house in 1990, their shop is a haven for book lovers of any age. Visit the Isaiah Thomas bookstore on 4632 Falmouth Road in Cotuit or contact at 508-428-2755.
MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating has been your trusted commercial and residential plumbing contractor in Massachusetts. They specialize in new and rehabilitation work, gas and pipe fitting, climate control, heating, HVAC, oil burner work, boiler installation, radiant heat, forced hot water, air conditioning, and duct and sheet metal fabrication services. Founded and owned by Michael Pasic, a team of 9 skilled professionals is dedicated to providing service. MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating is registered with the Massachusetts Board of State Examiners of Plumbers and the Department of Public Safety. For all your plumbing and heating needs, contact MK Pasic Plumbing and Heating at 560 Clamshell Point Lane in Cotuit. MK Pasic
in the Northwoods League, he talked about being able to throw against guys who are playing in the ACC, SEC, Big 12, guys of that nature playing at Power 5 programs. And really developed some of that confidence as a 2-2 pitch. Rocketed straight back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. One run comes in to score. Austin charging in from third. He will score. And it's a 4-2 lead. The Red Sox take a 2-run advantage off the bat of Anthony Martinez.
That ball just rocketed off the bat of Martinez right up the middle as Juanitz had to duck. Was coming right for his head, but just had a good piece of hitting there by Martinez. Got a pitch right over the heart of the plate and didn't miss it.
That's baseball.
Yeah. It's a really tough situation to cut. Look, misses high and wide, backhanded by Matt Klein, who had to go into the lefty batter's box, and it's 2-1 now.
Go.
Wichita State, number 30, Caleb Anderson. Up to bat for the Kettleers.
So a new pitcher enters into the ball game for the YD Red Sox. And he will be facing Easton Winfield. It'll be 9-1-2 in this Kettleers lineup. Easton Winfield, Devin Taylor, and Tanner Thatch as they are trying to work their way back into this ball game. Now trailing 5-2. And we apologize for undergoing some network issues in the midst of that third inning. But it appears that we are back streaming on YouTube. So to update you on what missed as the first pitch misses low and outside to Easton Winfield. Whitey going off for 3 runs in that bottom of the third inning. It was a 2 RBI single off the bat of Anthony Martinez. They took advantage of a throwing error by Dylan Juanitz, a hit by pitch and a walk. And they loaded up the bases, capitalizing on a couple of those mistakes by the Kettleers infield. But it all started with a leadoff double by Phoenix Call. And so now, the YD Red Sox in control 5-2. Hit hard on the ground towards second base, backhanded by Cameron Kim, who throws on the run. And the play at first, not in time, as Easton Winfield beats it up the first base line. We'll see if that one goes down as a hit. It will, and Winfield improves to 2 for 2.
Winfield not trying to do too much, just a soft ground ball hit to Cameron Kim. And a shot for Winfield today, picking up his first 2 hits as a Kettleer.
Now Devin Taylor will dig in. And we're joined now by writer for the Kettleers, Shane Patagna, who, if you've been keeping up with a lot of the draft picks for the Kettleers, reading all about that on the Kettleers website and on the Instagram, Shane Patagna, you're the one who is divvying up all of that work.
Yeah, it's been a busy 2 days pre-writing and
Yeah.
reacting to all the picks, serving as the quality control too for our graphic designer, Chris Jones, who's done a terrific job creating the graphics in the nick of time today and last night.
1-0 count to Taylor. Takes, and it's 1-1. So that's a part of the job that you really don't think about. You prepare so much for the draft, but there really is so much work to be done and not a lot of time to do it when the guys actually get picked. So what was that kind of like in your second time doing it?
Well, I think we had the system down pat. Stand right next to the guy. He's a very creative mind, but the nitty-gritty details, that's more my expertise. But I would say Emilian Petre being picked in the second round threw us for a loop. That wasn't part of our forecast given to us by Peter Flaherty and Will Thompson. But we adjusted well, and we said that one surprise was not going to break us down. It was going to take a lot more than that to do it.
1-1 pitch to Taylor, bounced in front of home plate, picked up by LaCroix, and the count's 2-1 now. With the runner still on first, it's Winfield. So more on that. Any big surprises other than Emilian Petre? He goes to the Tampa Bay Rays, but for you who is covering this entire event, I mean, there are so many names that are going for the Kettleers that it's hard to keep up. Adele Huffman was mentioning the guys who played on this roster this summer, but are there any names that really stick out and teams that guys are going to that excite you as the count's now 2-2 to Taylor?
Well, I know from today, Rafe Schlesinger in the 4th round to Cleveland, Will Thompson was very excited for that pick. He was really high on Cleveland's development and track record with pitchers, especially in Schlesinger is an interesting arm, left-hander from a really lanky three-quarter slot. And Sean Keys as well, going to Will Thompson's Toronto Blue Jays as well. I know that he spent a lot of time in the Northeast this spring scouting and would send videos of Sean Keys homers to me and Chris Jones saying like, hey, this guy still good.
That's exactly right. I mean, a guy who can just punish the ball. 3-2 pitch to Taylor. Rolled on the ground, and that will split the infielders into right field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles as Easton Winfield charges into third base, and he slides in feet first. So the Kettleers will have runners on the corners, and Devin Taylor improves to 2 for 3.
Taylor, a good piece of hitting, just hitting this one on the ground, splitting the right side of the infield between the first baseman, Ethan Petrie, and Cameron Kim, as Devin Taylor's continued to have had success, now inserted at the top of this Cotuit order.
So run us through some of the big picks that you were talking about.
Well, I'm really excited for Ryan Waldschmidt and Caleb Lomavita. Not quite first rounders, but in that competitive balance round A. And Waldschmidt technically a prospect promotion incentive pick with Corbin Carroll winning the 2023 NL Rookie of the Year. He was first off the board. Loma Vita, of course, has meant a ton to this village in the summers of 2022 and 2023. Played at least half the season, all-star both of those years. You don't hear that much often in this current landscape of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, with all the turnover on this roster, not too many guys playing full seasons on their teams anymore. But of course, there are a lot of guys in this ball game who have played over 20 games for their respective teams, mainly being those middle infielders for YD. Phoenix Call, Cameron Kim. And now Devin Taylor will get picked off again towards first. He reaches in with his left hand on the swim move and is able to get the top half of that bag. But the YD dugout really thought they might have had him.
Bang bang play between Caleb Anderson and Devin Taylor. Nice job by Taylor to avoid the tag of Petrie, as first base coach Will Thompson adamant that he was back in safely.
Yeah, Thompson pointing towards the right field corner of that bag. 1-0 count to Tanner Thatch. They'll check back at first, and Taylor this time is back in standing up. Caleb Anderson is the new pitcher in for the YD Red Sox out of Wichita State. 6-foot-tall right-hander. And making another appearance for the Red Sox this summer, has so far pitched in 6 innings. The 1-0 pitch to Tanner Thatch is a fastball tipped into the glove of LaCroix. Thatch was looking to the right field trees after fanning and missing at that one. And it's 1-1. Thatch playing alongside Loma Vita last summer. Loma Vita going to the Washington Nationals. 1-1 pitch from Anderson. Gonna have to wait as Taylor's back in safely, standing up at first.
And another teammate of Thatch's, Cam Hill, rounded out today's picks for the Kettleers. Just another player that meant so much to the Kettleers as the Cape League Pitcher of the Year. Went 252nd overall in round 8 to Philadelphia.
Thatch fouls one off down the first base line, and it's now 1-2. There was a moment there where we're wondering why Cameron Hill wasn't taken off the board yet, but he ends up being the last one picked of today and of the last couple days. So what does that bring the total up to?
So that, by a quick count, that's 11 picks over these 2 days. 4 yesterday and 7 today.
1-2 pitch to Thatch, finds the dirt, he takes. It's 2-2. And the way that Thatch has swung the bat this summer, I have to imagine that he'll have his name called next summer.
I think day one written all over him, especially if Cole Mathis was last summer. We've seen already how much a pure power hitter, but also can hit for average too.
He takes low and outside, and now the count's full. Good example of it right here.
And Thatch, of course, two-way capabilities, but Mathis had the same, but it's the bat that's going to carry him to be a professional.
Yeah, both of these guys hitting above 300 at their respective schools this past season, and now the Chuck back at first, and Taylor's back in there standing up. Those two playing against each other too. College of Charleston, University of North Carolina, Wilmington. where Tanner Thatch hit 27 home runs there this past season. Now he's up to 34 this season across summer and college ball. 3-2 pitch. Takes low and inside, and they'll load up the bases in this fourth inning. So Caleb Anderson already running into some trouble in his first inning of work.
Anderson just falling behind Thatch there, and how many times have we seen Thatch work deep in accounts, work full counts? Such a disciplined hitter. Now his 11th walk on the year, and a big spot for Matt Klein with the bases loaded and still no out here in this top of the fourth.
Alex and I were talking about it before the game. Seems like a lot of guys who are going to AL East teams are mainly just teams that are on the East Coast. Do you think that playing up here has any role in that as Matt Klein digs in with the bases juice?
I mean, it certainly makes it easier for a scout to get here.
Yeah. Klein swings and misses, and he's down 0-1. So the convenience factor is there.
In the same breath, though, Rodney Green Jr. stays in the Bay Area, going to the Oakland A's.
Yeah, of course, being out of Cal Berkeley. Next pitch to Matt Klein, misses low, 1-1. And Caleb Lomavita making the trek all the way from Oahu, Hawaii to the Washington Nationals organization. But pretty cool to see all these guys who are really able to see all the hard work that they put in at school and where the summers that they were here the past couple of years come to fruition and get selected. It's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, Lomavita was definitely the most exciting draft prospect that could call themselves a Kettleer. Was arguably the best catcher in the class between Walker Yannick and Malcolm Moore, all grouped very close together, and they all went within about 10 picks of each other. But Lomavita, I can assure, the cliche of the ball sounds different off his bat is the case with him.
Rolled on the ground through the right side of the infield. That squeezes through into right for a base hit. Easton Winfield comes in to score from third to make it a 5-3 ball game. Matt Klein, an RBI single, and the bases will stay juiced for Brandon Compton.
Klein not trying to do too much, just a soft ground ball that splits right side of the infield between the second baseman Cameron Kim and Ethan Petrie over there at first base. But Joe, I know you mentioned it earlier, but how many times has Matt Klein come up in a big spot and delivered for this Kettleer team, picking up another RBI and making it just a 2-run ball game?
Yeah, that's right. In 2 of his last 3 games, he's been able to notch either the go-ahead hit or the game-tying hit, and he does so in this game, but of course not going to be the tying hit, and a lot of baseball to be played as it's now 5-4 Cotuit trails. Excuse me, 5-3. But now a mound visit on the mound between Scott Pickler, the entire Red Sox infield, talking things over before Brandon Compton's third plate appearance. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Skies darkening above Red Wilson Field. Was clear overhead at the start of this ball game, sunshine, and now it is continued to get darker. Of course, no lights at YD, Dennis Yarmouth High School, so these dark clouds would play a factor. They did have a game get called due to darkness this past week. Of course, Shane, there's no place like home like Lowell Park, but of course it's not the only place where you can get a game called due to darkness.
Yeah, really how this game has played out. We're already an hour and a half in. No outs in the top of the fourth. You almost have to treat it like extra innings. You need to try and win every inning.
Yeah.
The way this game has gone, 10 hits, 16 in total in this game. Both teams have had errors. It's already 5-3 and through 3 full innings.
Already into their bullpens too.
You got to try and win every inning.
Yeah.
Because at this rate, we are not getting 9 full in.
Bold statement from Shane Patagna. But yeah, we're trending in that direction as the mound visit concludes and Brandon Compton takes down low around his ankles. It's 1-0. And do you think maybe that's kind of the strategy going into this inning for Mike Roberts? He doesn't want to send too many guys. Of course, you don't want to make the first or third outs of the inning at home plate or at third, but with no outs decides to hold up Taylor at third as now the count's 2-0. Do you maybe think that that's an effort to try to keep this inning going, or force the pitcher to work himself into even more trouble, Caleb Anderson.
I think it's forcing Anderson to work into even more trouble, a guy who struggled with command, 21 pitches, 9 strikes, but also Mike Roberts knowing that Brandon Compton, who's due up 2 for 2 in this game, and has really been swinging a hot bat.
And now he takes outside. It's 3-0.
So Roberts not trying to be too aggressive, sending Taylor. We've seen, of course, over the last few games, Cotuit running into inning-ending outs and wasting outs on the base path. So Roberts holding Taylor and forcing Anderson to deal with Compton with the bases loaded.
3-0 pitch to Compton. Anderson releases a fastball that's down the heart of the plate, just above his knees, and a get-me-over fastball that's called strike one. So 3-1 the count to Compton, who was already 2 for 2 today. Both of those hits coming against Carson Ballard, who works 3 innings, gives up 2 runs. The 3-1 pitch. Compton hits it off the end of his bat and rolls it towards the camera well beyond the wide dugout. So the count will be full to the left-handed swinger out of Arizona State.
I think another thing that might influence decisions on the base paths is just the size of this ballpark. The home run always in play. No need to make outs with runners in scoring position on the base paths when any fly ball could get out of here.
Yeah, wind blowing out towards left center. Compton hammers that one on the ground towards Cameron Kim at second. He's up with it, throwing to second for one. The relay to first is not going to be released by Phoenix Call. So Devin Taylor will advance home and score from third. It's an RBI ground out for Brandon Compton, and the Kettleers continue to chip away at that Whitey lead. It's now 5-4.
That's been a couple of times where Cameron Kim, the second baseman, just has a ground ball that eats him up just a tad bit as that ball got away from Kim. Does a good job of getting at least one out.
Been a tough day at second base for Cameron Kim so far. Already made a couple of errors, but seemingly a bit uncomfortable with that ground ball. Is able to make one out, though. So he gets that all-important first out of the inning. 2 runs already across for the Cats, and now a slow roller to second. Kim charging in on it. Underhand flip to Petrie at first to get the out there. But Tanner Thatch will score from third, and the Kettleers tie up this ball game at 5.
Kim making the only play he really could, just a slow dribbler off the bat of Charles Davalon. Kim charging in, fielding cleanly, making the underhand flip in time, but just a nice piece of hitting by Davalon going on the pull side as Thatch comes easily in to score.
I think making that play there for Kim is something that should rebuild his confidence. A series of errors in the field, it'll just keep eating at you. Finally made a big play and a tough one. But I have to think the errors might be done for him today.
Yeah, I mean, he might have a chance to right his wrong at the plate. Has already reached on an error today. It was a throwing error by Dylan Hawanitz for the Kettleers. Now the 1-0 pitch to Nolan Naraki is roped foul, a chopper that hits the base of the wide dugout. Count 1-1 to Naraki. He's 0 for 2 today. But swinging a really hot bat going into this ball game. Couple of ground outs and a pop out just beyond the infield so far as Brandon Compton will take a short lead at second. Big hole on the right side of the infield as Cam holds him on there. The 1-1 pitch bounces in front of home plate. LaCroix is up with it, looking back to second. A nice block there by LaCroix to keep the runner at second base, and it's a 2-1 count to Naraki. Going into this ball game, Nolan Naraki, 9 of his last 17 with a double and a homer. 4 driven in, and will have to rely on some 2-out hitting. Try to club in Compton from second as the next pitch finds the dirt, and it's 3-1 to Naraki. In the driver's seat once more as Anderson continues to struggle in finding the box. YD Red Sox sending one of their former Red Sox to the Boston Red Sox. Braden Montgomery out of Texas A&M as this one sent on a 2-hopper towards short. Phoenix Call throwing on the infield grass. It bounces in and gets away from Petrie. Towards the Kettleers dugout. Compton will come in and score from second. Naraki up to second base. And the Kettleers take advantage of a throwing error by the YD infield. It's now 6-5.
Another fielding miscue from this YD infield, and something we've seen a lot so far today. Their third error just here in the top of the fourth, and the Kettleers doing a nice job at capitalizing on the Red Sox miscues in the field.
So the errors may have stopped for Kim, but they've migrated to the other side of the middle infield.
Uncharacteristic for Phoenix Call, though, has been the everyday man at shortstop for the Red Sox. Now the first pitch to Advincula. Hammered straight back up the middle. Call behind second base, grabs it on the run and throws on the run in time to get Advincula there. So he surely rights his wrong on that play, sending Advincula to 0 for 3. And the Kettleers score 4 runs in the top of the fourth inning. They now lead at 6-5. And Shane, thank you for coming on and giving us some insight on the Kettleers draft picks.
Maybe I'll have some more for you on Wednesday.
Absolutely. Definitely have you on Wednesday when the Kets play the Firebirds, but still 5 innings to play here from YD. Kettleers up 6-5. We go to the home half of the fourth here on the Kets Radio Network.
Escape the summer heat at Polar Cave Ice Cream Parlor, located on Route 28 in Mashpee, right at the Barnstable town line. Our creamy, homemade ice cream flavors will delight your taste buds. Plus, Kettleers kids get a free comb on home game days. Call us at 508-477-5553 or email info@polarcave.com to learn more. Come chill with us and experience the coolest treats on Cape Cod.
RCA Electric and Generators is dedicated to helping homeowners and building contractors select, purchase, install, and maintain the ideal generator for their specific needs. Since being founded by Randy Agnew in 1990, this Barnstable-based family-run business has grown its reputation by serving all of Cape Cod, the South Shore, and the South Coast. Get in touch today by reaching out to RCA at 508-428-0449 or visit in person at 153 Commercial Street in Mashpee.
Willow Bend has been regarded as one of Cape Cod's and New England's premier private clubs and communities for over 25 years. Willow Bend is a family-friendly community right here in Cotuit. They strive for a fun and relaxed lifestyle with good times and good friends. Discover all that and more at
Bottom of the fourth inning, Cotuit now in the lead, 6-5. Dylan Hawanitz back out on the bump. His first pitch is roped foul off the bat of Drew Burris. Into foul territory, and he is now down in the count, 0-1. Drew Burris actually making the final out of that third inning. So it'll be Phoenix Call to lead things off for the Red Sox in the bottom of the fourth. Now he takes low and inside, and it's 1-1. So Hawanitz able to go back out there and continue to work after entering in the game with a runner on third, nobody out, and a 1-0 count to R.J. Austin as the 1-1 pitch to Phoenix Call is hit hard and off the net. Now down on the count 1-2. So for a guy who has mainly thrown 3 years of Division II baseball, I know he spent a summer in the Northwoods League, but to enter a game against a guy in R.J. Austin out of Vanderbilt, Anthony Martinez, who is swinging an incredibly hot bat, and Ethan Petrie. Just incredible to have to come into a game and face those guys, and still with a 1-0 count and a runner on third as the next pitch misses, and it's 2-2.
It's a dangerous 3, 4, 5 in this YD lineup, and just the names that you were saying. Can't even imagine Dylan Hawanitz coming in making his Cape League debut.
This one shot through the right side of the infield, just past Jaron Advincula, and into right field for a base hit. So Phoenix Call improves to 2 for 3. And it's another leadoff man to start off this bottom of the fourth inning for the Red Sox.
It's really been this top of the YD lineup that's producing. Phoenix Call now up to 2 hits. R.J. Austin, he's reached in both of his plate appearances. Anthony Martinez, he is a base hit. So this YD team really being powered by this 2, 3, 4, 5 hitters so far today.
So it's R.J. Austin, the 2023 Cape League All-Star, who takes a strike one outside. He is 1 for 1 today with a solo homer, also scored a run after walking in the third. It was a Phoenix Call stand-up leadoff double to start off the bottom of the third inning and get that rally going for the Red Sox. As this one's hit off the ankle of Hawanitz, he's up with it running to second. It's actually off his ankle towards Advincula, who picks it up. The runner will advance to first. Hawanitz, though, got right up and sprinted towards the baseball. No play for him to make, and it looks like he's going to be okay, but that's a scary moment there for a pitcher. Second time today that a ball has been hit right back at him.
Just took the words right out of my mouth. It's really dealing with a couple of hard hit balls that have come right back to him, but a nice job at least for Juanitz to get back to his feet, run over, and attempt to make the play. Always a scary situation. Never want any of these players to get hurt, but for Juanitz and the Kettleers' sake, he's back up and standing.
Mike Roberts having a discussion with Juanitz, who's going to be taken out of this ball game after giving up 2 singles to start off this 4th inning of work. But of course, advanced caution with that ball rattling off of his foot. Unsure where it did hit him, but always a scary moment, as you just mentioned. So we'll send it to a quick break. A new pitcher will enter the game for the Kettleers as they still lead at 6-5. Trouble brewing, though, as the Red Sox have runners on first and second with nobody gone. New pitcher in the game from Red Wilson. Don't go anywhere on the Kets Radio Network.
Operating on Cape Cod since 1988, Advanced Embroidery has garnered national awards in embroidery and screen printing. They offer screenings on golf shirts, Oxford shirts, jackets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and bags. Advanced Embroidery will print your company's or team's logos anywhere. Thousands of satisfied customers can attest for Advanced Embroidery's attentive customer service, tight quality control, and quick turnaround time. They're open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday on 38 Plant Road in Hyannis.
Beacon Gardens is a full-service garden center right here in Mashpee. They sell a variety of landscaping materials and seasonal produce to both consumers and landscaping professionals around the Barnstable Village. Stop by and see all Beacon Gardens has to offer at 182 West Barnstable Road in Austerville.
So we welcome you back in from Red Wilson Field. Kettleers in control of this ball game 6-5. 10 hits for the Kets, 8 hits for the Red Sox. And this is a difficult situation once more for Zach Duenas to enter into this ball game, Alex, for the Kets. Right-handed pitcher out of Western Kentucky will head to Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, when this summer is all said and done. But exciting as we get another arm into this game who we haven't seen before.
Well, like you mentioned, Joe, he enters in a tough spot. Back-to-back singles to begin the inning issued by Dylan Juanitz, who, of course, took that 99-mile-an-hour line drive off of his foot, off the bat of R.J. Austin. So good to see Juanitz being able to walk off the mound. But Zach Duenas coming into this really tough spot, facing the 4-hitter in this YD lineup, a guy who's had a lot of success already today, who's 1 for 2, and there's no outs and runners on first and second.
That's right. It's Anthony Martinez. Today, he is 1 for 2, an RBI single just an inning ago. So we got our first looks at Zach Duenas. Tall right-handed thrower who takes a look back at second, doesn't release the ball. He looks call back to the second base bag. R.J. Austin takes a lead off of first base. And the righty comes set. First pitch. Martinez takes a fastball up high. It's 1-0. Zach Duenas out of Western Kentucky, 6'10", 225-pound right-handed thrower out of Olney, Illinois. Comes set with the black glove just above his belt. From the stretch, his 1-0 pitch. Rocketed into straightaway center field. Davalon charging in on it. Runner from second, Phoenix call. Rounding third, he will come in and score to tie up this ball game at 6-6.
Not the ideal start for Zach Duenas. And the first batter he faces, Anthony Martinez, just ropes a hard line drive right back up the middle as Martinez continues to have a productive day at the plate. Now 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs.
And here's Ethan Petrie. 21 homers this past season at South Carolina. 3 for the Red Sox this year, and now he takes a bending breaking ball that falls in for a called strike one. Mal Petrie couldn't believe that call. Bent back and buckled at the knees at that breaking ball from Zach Duenas. Ahead in the count 0-1 with runners on first and second. Nobody out, and now a tied 6-6 ball game in the bottom of the fourth from Red Wilson Field. The 0-1 pitch up and inside on another breaking ball and called a strike two. Petrie still trying to guess where those two pitches found the box. But Zach Duenas is now ahead in the count 0-2. Runners are on first and second. He comes set, takes a deep breath, and now goes home as that one's popped up over our right shoulders and out of play towards the snack shack. So what were once thick overcast clouds overhead at Dennis Yarmouth High School have become pretty patchy, partly cloudy skies. As that one nearly hits Petrie, they say it will. It goes back to the backstop, and they'll say that actually hit him off the helmet. So that is a difficult way to give up an 0-2 count from Zach Duenas. And once again, the YD Red Sox will load the bases.
Duenas just lost the handle on that pitch, running too far inside to Ethan Petrie. A scary moment there as he had to back up out of the way of that pitch, but Duenas went with the heater that just runs too far inside and kicks off of Petrie's helmet.
So a pinch hitter into the ball game will hit for Cameron Kim. Jackson Chirello, left-handed swinger out of Kennesaw State, will get his first looks on Zach Duenas. Cameron Kim, 2 errors on the infield, struck out and reached on an error by the Kettleers infield. As the corners will play up, middle infielders back for Chirello, who takes a breaking ball outside for ball one. Chirello with just 2 homers this past season at Kennesaw State, but his second one couldn't have come at a better time. 1-0 pitch. Ball's in there on the breaking ball, and it's 1-1. Hit a home run to defeat Central Arkansas in the ASUN tournament, and he was part of that ASUN all-tournament team, playing 46 games this past season at Kennesaw State, and is off to a hot summer. 353 with 12 base knocks as the 1-1 pitch. He checks his swing. They'll appeal down to the base ump. He did not go, and that base ump standing directly behind the pitcher's mound, appealing to him, and he doesn't give the Kettleers the call. It's now 2-1. Thatch his toes on the infield grass. Nolan Araki is 10 feet off the line, also with his feet on the grass. Middle infielders are playing back, as is the outfield. 2-1 pitch. Chirello waits on it and now rolls a slow tapper towards shortstop. Cerny will take it to the bag himself and throw on to first to get the second out. As one run comes in to score from third, it's R.J. Austin. But that is a key ground out for the Kettleers and Zach Duenas, as there are now quickly 2 outs in this bottom of the fourth.
That was a much-needed ground ball from Zach Duenas there. Tyler Cerny fielding that slow hit ground ball easily, taking it to the bag for one. His throw in time, and just a vital 2 outs there for Zach Duenas, a guy who has struggled, allowed a couple of base hits, of course, that hit by pitch, but to come back and roll a double play ball, that's massive.
LaCroix reaches out over the plate and clubs one foul back to the backstop. Always huge when you can rely on your defense like that, and I think that's really what you have to do when runners get on base. You want to find a way to get guys to swing and miss, but it's really all about trusting that defense. As the 0-1 pitch misses low. And Tyler Cerny getting back in the lineup today. Haven't seen him get a start since Thursday in Hyannis, it was Friday at Harwich, but making a difference in the field, and that middle infield has been so key for the Kettleers this season. As a broken bat, 3-hopper is on the way to shortstop. Cerny has some extra time as LaCroix tripped out of the box, and the throw is well in time there to get the third out of this bottom of the fourth inning. So we played 4 here at Red Wilson Field. The Kettleers now trailing 7-6 in this back and forth battle. And we'll welcome Adele Huffman on for the second time today. And Adele, tell us more about Zach Duenas.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, Zach Duenas with his first appearance this summer for the Kets. from Western Kentucky, a right-handed pitcher. He just finished up his junior year where he appeared in 4 games with 3 starts. But Zach is an all-around athlete and has also lettered in basketball and golf. He's a major league golfer. And after college, he plans on going to PT school or medical school to become a orthopedic physician after college. So really smart guy, all-around athlete. And he says his biggest influence when it comes to baseball is his father, that he taught him everything he knows about baseball. So it's awesome to see just such a well-rounded guy out here with such a quick inning.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, we talk about getting thrust into the fire, Alex, and once again, another Kettleers pitcher gets thrust into the fire. Really difficult situation, but you can tell from his experience and maybe some of that experience playing other sports. I mean, the game of golf is a very isolating game, kind of like pitching, and so maybe channeling some of that good fortune on the golf course to being a pitcher. And of course, he's transferring to Southern Illinois Edwardsville. So after a solid season at Western Kentucky, he's able to get another opportunity at a different school. So it's always super cool to be able to see guys like that who are trying to improve up here on the summer for the new roster that they'll be joining this season.
That it is, and this is the second summer team that Duenas has played on. Played in the Valley League earlier this summer with the Percival Cannons, and Joe, he had a lot of success in those 4 appearances that he made. 8 2/3 innings pitched, allowed just 2 hits, and struck out 17 hitters, while only issuing 4 walks. So this is a guy who has really good strikeout stuff. So excited to see how his Cotuit career progresses.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see how this next inning goes.
Absolutely, as this is a back and forth battle between the Red Sox and Kettleers. Each team combining for 4 runs in the first 2 innings of this ball game. YD rattling off 3 of their own in the bottom of the 3rd. Cotuit responding with 4 in the top of the 4th, but 2 in that bottom half of the 4th inning, as we just saw, brought the Red Sox back in front. It's 7-6. Caleb Anderson is back on the bump, and his first pitch to Tyler Cerny is fouled straight back into the netting. 0-1. So more great information from Adele Huffman there, who talked us through Zach Duenas' 3-year college career to this point. And he was able to work his way out of that bottom of the 4th inning. It was all started at the top half once again by Phoenix Call. 0-1 pitch to Cerny. Takes low, down around his knees, and it's 1-1. So Tyler Cerny today enters this at-bat 0 for 2. Fly out to left field and a line drive out to second base. And there's a new second baseman into this ball game as he takes low. It's now 2-1. Jackson Chirello pinch hit for Cameron Kim in the bottom of that 4th frame. Kim with already a couple errors in this ball game. Clearly not his night. So Chirello will replace him at second. No other changes other than that. Cerny takes low and outside, and it's now 3-1. Cerny celebrating his 21st birthday a couple days ago on July 13th. Hasn't played in a game since then, so trying to channel some of that birthday luck. The 3-1 pitch. Broken bat. Sent on the ground towards Phoenix Call at second. Up with it gunning. And at the base of the infield grass has out number 1. So Tyler Cerny makes the first out of this top of the 5th inning. And there's 1 gone.
It's another broken bat that we've seen there. That last pitch from Caleb Anderson running too far in on the hands of Cerny. Shatters that bat. Most of it going behind the backstop all the way right in front of the brick backstop here at Red Wilson Field.
Yeah, the ball went forward about 90 feet. The bat went backward about 50 feet maybe. Couple different broken bats we've already seen today, Alex. First pitch was a strike to Easton Winfield. He's 2 for 2. Now the 0-1 pitch. Anderson fires, and it's a twisting foul ball down the left field line and out of play. One fan reaches up and makes a great play. Backhand catch, had to reach over a lawn chair. Pulled that down. F10. Still an 0-2 count to Easton Winfield. Infield shifted to the left side for him, and now he rockets one past the outstretched arms of Jackson Chirello and into right field. So Easton Winfield continues his strong play, and he's 3 for 3.
Have a day, Easton Winfield, all 3 base hits coming of the single variety, but he's had a lot of hard hit balls there. That last hit, no difference, as he just lines that right into right field. So a nice job by Winfield, who making the most of his second start here with the Kettleers.
It was an infield single and then one that was straight back up the middle, and that one over the head of the second baseman. He's been all over these pitches, whether it's from Carson Ballard or now the new arm, Caleb Anderson, as Devin Taylor takes a breaking ball low and outside for strike one. He's 2 for 3. An RBI, a run scored, and already 2 runs scored for Easton Winfield today. Both times he's reached first, been able to come around and score. Those pinstripe pants, dirty from all the activity he's done on the bases, has a 4-step lead, and the 0-1 pitch to Taylor. Bounced in front of home plate. Winfield will walk back to first. So how key is it to have a guy like Winfield, 3 for 3, batting 9, and Devin Taylor at the top half to clean him up?
Well, we've seen this a lot from the Kettleers, having one of your more talented hitters in the 9-hole Jaron Advincula in that spot, but it's just massive. Always having a guy on base for such talented hitters like Devin Taylor and Tanner Thatch.
1-1 pitch, taken outside on the breaking ball and called a strike 2. Taylor didn't quite like that call. But you can definitely see these wide-E pitchers trying to locate the ball low and outside to these lefties, especially Tanner Thatch, who awaits on deck. 1 gone in the inning with the runner on first. 1-2 count to Taylor. Here's a breaking ball that misses low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Taylor now 7 for 15 since being inserted into the leadoff spot. This is 4th straight game, batting 1 in the Kettleers order, and now he backs up out of the way of that pitch as it nearly hits his toes, and the count's 3-2. So another great at-bat here from Devin Taylor.
The leadoff spot has been an area of weakness for Cotuit. Just a couple of games ago, the leadoff men hitting around the low 190s, but Devin Taylor, ever since he's been inserted at the top of this order, has paid off big time.
Winfield will dive back into first base safely. No stolen bases for the Kettleers so far today. Easton Winfield looking for his first as a Ket. And now he takes a 4-step lead off first. Being held on by Petrie. Rest of the infield straight up. 3-2 pitch is rolled on the ground towards the Ket's dugout. And off the railing there. Taylor stays alive at 3-2. So another great at-bat worked by him, as we've talked about so much. Being able to work long at-bats as the leadoff man. And then having to face all these guys who follow him, being Tanner Thatch, Matt Klein, Brandon Compton. Kettleers really trying out a lot of different looks at the top half of this order, but this one seemingly being the most effective so far. 3-2 pitch to Taylor. Fastball cut on and miss, strike 3. Winfield, the throw down to second is in time as he dives in, but not after the throw from Talmadge LaCroix. So a strike him out, throw him out double play ends the top of the 5th inning. Kettleers with 6 runs on 11 hits. They do leave a couple more runners on base here in this top of the 5th. Still trailing 7-6 as we go to the home half of this frame. And when we come back, our broadcast partner Alex Rocco will take you home on the play-by-play from here on out from Red Wilson Field. Don't go anywhere.
Each week, the Cape Cod Baseball League is honoring those who served with Red Shirt Fridays. Every home team on Fridays wear red Cape League uniforms and an Army camouflaged hat. For every Friday game at Lowell Park, the Kettleers are honoring a hero of the game presented by the Massachusetts State Lottery. For exclusive Red Shirt Friday gear like fitted player hats, head to the Kettleers store at the ballpark. We hope you can join us for a Red Shirt Friday at Lowell Park this season.
For over 40 years, Vollmer & Son Construction has proudly served its community, providing a wide range of construction services, from bathroom renovations to complete home remodels. When you work with Vollmer & Son, you are being taken care of by natives of Cape Cod who support the community by using local suppliers and subcontractors. Vollmer & Son Construction, a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Looking to connect with the right business? ZoomInfo's got you covered. With a database of over 100 million company profiles, they provide top-notch data to boost sales and marketing growth. Since 2007, ZoomInfo's B2B data quality has ensured that businesses have the best intelligence right at your fingertips. Discover more at zoominfo.com and see how you can get connected today.
8, 9, and 1 due up here in the bottom of the fifth between the Cotuit Kettleers and the YD Red Sox. I'm Alec Tracco, joined alongside by Joe Pratt and Adele Huffman. As YD currently with the 1-run advantage, they've scored runs in all 4 of the innings so far. And stepping up for his third plate appearance is the third baseman, Gavin Gallagher. Gallagher today 1 for 1, singled in his first at bat, that coming in the bottom of the second. Also walked just an inning later. Zach Duenas returns to the mound, working his first full inning of work, and starts out the righty Gallagher with a first pitch curveball that's looked at for strike number 1. Duenas came in relief of Dylan Hawanitz, who really struggled in his Kettleer debut, so a pair of right-handed relievers making their debut as the 0-1 pitch taken beneath the knees. 1-1 is the count here. But Hawanitz in an inning of work, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. As the 1-1 pitch looked at for a called strike 2. So Duenas gets ahead here. Hawanitz also walked 2, struck out 1, and tossed 39 pitches in his only inning of work. Getting the start today was Harrison Bodendorf. He went 2. As the 1-2 pitch got him looking. Gavin Gallagher goes down on strikes as Zach Duenas picks up his first strikeout as a Kettleer, and that's how things begin here in this bottom of the fifth.
Perfect pitch on the outer edge of the plate, and nothing Gavin Gallagher can do with that. Had a good day at the plate going into that AB, but as you mentioned, the first strikeout of the young Kettleers' career for Zach Duenas.
Now it's Will Tippett. Righty-righty matchup here as Duenas kicks and deals. Delivers the first pitch that's taken for a ball number 1. Tippett today 1 for 2, singled in his first at-bat. He has 1 of 9 hits today for this YD offense. As the 1-0 pitch runs too far inside, backs up Tippett out of the batter's box, so the count is 2-0 here. Duenas, such an imposing figure out on the mound, standing 6'10", 225 pounds. As the tall righty kicks and deals the 2-0, a high looping breaking ball that crosses the plate under the knees of Tippett. So it's taken for a third consecutive ball. So Tippett is up in the count 3-0 here. Cotuit, 6 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. YD, 7 runs on 9 hits, 3 errors. Duenas, the righty, deals the 3-0 pitch. That one runs inside. Tippett has to duck his head, so he reaches on a 4-pitch walk. So Tippett reaches for a second time today as we head back to the top of the Red Sox order.
It's a tale of 2 at-bats right there. Pounding the zone against Gavin Gallagher. Seemingly locating everything incredibly well along the edges of the zone, and there can't find the box against Will Tippett in all 4 of his pitches. So having to refocus here against the top half of this lineup. And as you look at this lineup, Alex, this is the part of the order that has done most of the damage.
The first pitch to Drew Burris. Running on the pitch is Tippett. The throw down to second from Klein, not in time, as Will Tippett swipes second. So he moves up in a scoring position with 1 out. First pitch to the leadoff man, Drew Burris, was called a ball.
Pitch did miss low, it appeared, but that's one from Matt Klein. It's a solid throw, but just to the wrong corner of the bag. He's got to throw it towards the right field corner of the bag. Of course, that's a big ask, but Jaron Advincula having to reach far across his body and then swipe the tag to his left, and just a difficult play to receive as a shorter second baseman.
That was the second stolen base of the year for Tippett. So Tippett leads off second, the 1-0 pitch to Burris. In around the knees for a called strike 1 that evens the count up at 1-1. But Burris, so far today, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. But behind him, the 2-3-4 hitters in this YD order, Phoenix Call, RJ Austin, Anthony Martinez, all guys who have had multiple hits today. As the 1-1 pitch to Burris, swinging away, lofting this high over the press box. That'll get back into the parking lot. So the count is 1-2 against Burris, who, coming off of such a prolific season this past year in college, has struggled adjusting here on the Cape, hitting just 127. Burris this past year at Georgia Tech hit 381. There's a big cut on and miss there, so the second strikeout for Zach Duenas as Burris picks up his second strikeout, and there are 2 are gone here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, that's massive, especially after that runner gets into scoring position. And this is not a guy that you want to let reach base and have to face R.J. Austin, Anthony Martinez after that. If Duenas is able to get ahead of Phoenix Call here and end this inning, Kettleers will hopefully be able to bring some momentum into the sixth.
Duenas looks back at Tippett, comes home the first pitch to Call, taken low and outside for a ball number 1. Call today 2 for 3, double and a single, also has scored twice. So YD has scored in every inning so far today as they lead 7-6. Another off-speed pitch taken low and outside. So Call up in the count 2-0 here. Duenas 27 pitches, 14 strikes so far in an inning and 2/3. Has struck out 2. It's the righty glove set just above the belt. Takes a look back at Tippett, who comes home with a 2-0, another breaking ball that is kept in front by Klein in the dirt. So Call up in the count 3-0 here. Looking to extend the inning. YD already with 2 out RBIs. RJ Austin with 1, and Talmadge LaCroix with another. As the 3-0 pitch runs inside, Phoenix Call will take the walk, the second of the inning today for Zach Duenas, as there's runners on first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah, it's been strikeout, walk, strikeout in this 5th inning for Zach Duenas. Just got to figure out a way to stay more consistent, and now he'll be throwing against R.J. Austin, who was a Cape League All-Star, as mentioned, his last time hitting, and went on this year at Vanderbilt to hit .335, so clearly did not skip a beat.
Has continued that elite production here at YD, hitting .357. Duenas starts him out with a first pitch breaking ball that backs him up. Austin getting the start in left field today, bats from the right side. Has reached in all 3 of his at-bats, 2 for 2 with a home run as the 1-0 pitch looked at for a called strike, one that evens the count up at 1-1. But Austin homered back in the bottom of the first to even the score at 1-1. Also walked in his second at-bat and singled in the 4th. 1-1 is the count. Duenas kicks and deals. This one chopped hard to Naraki, who steps on the bag at third in time. So just like that, Zach Duenas works in and out of trouble, strikes out 2 batters, issues 2 walks, but gets out an inning, the rare 5 unassisted, to end this bottom of the 5th. As we head to the top of the 6th here from Red Wilson Field. YD leading Cotuit 7-6 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Bortolotti Construction is your go-to provider for all excavation, drainage, and waterworks services. On top of that, they offer landscape filling materials such as sand, native stone, gravel, shells, and more. Serving Cape Cod and the islands for 30 years, Bortolotti Construction is committed to serving its community. Visit at 45 Industry Road in Marston's Mills or call 508-771-9399.
Coastal Rentals is the place to go for professional landscape and construction equipment. Whether you need tools and equipment for commercial use or for your own projects, Coastal Rentals has what you need. Purchasing gear is also available. Check out Coastal Rentals today.
Cotuit Library. Since its founding in 1874, the Cotuit Library has served its community with an expansive collection that continues to grow. Their staff is dedicated to serving all ages, offering youth events weekly. The library has dozens of events scheduled throughout the summer, so be sure to head to the website at cotuitlibrary.org to see what's coming up next. The library is located right off Main Street. The Cotuit Library, a proud sponsor of the Kettleers.
Caleb Anderson returns to the mound here to begin play in this top of the 6th. YD is still leading Cotuit 7-6. Red Sox enter play today with a 15-8-1 record. That puts them first in the East Division. Cotuit in second place in the West with a 15-9 record. Kettleers currently on a 2-game winning streak. As the first pitch to Tanner Thatch, foul tip straight into the glove of the catcher LaCroix. Thatch with a massive cut there, trying to jack his second home run of the day. Would be a team-leading 8th. Already hit one today. He's 1 for 2. Reached on a walk. So another productive day at the dish for the UNC Wilmington star first baseman. As the 0-1 pitch taken outside, the count is evened up at 1-1 against Caleb Anderson, who so far has gone 2 innings of work, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. As the 1-1 pitch from the righty, Thatch hits this one into center field. Getting underneath it is Drew Burris, who will make the grab for the first out of the inning. So Thatch gives it a ride to straightaway center field, but it is caught for the opening out here in the 6th.
Yeah, what is normally a medium depth fly ball at most other ballparks. It's a shallow fly ball at Orleans. That one taking Drew Burris all the way back to the fence line. If there was a warning track at Red Wilson Field, he likely would have been all over it. Tanner Thatch taking it to the deepest part of this ballpark to make the first out.
Now it's Matt Klein, who's 2 for 3, squares around a bunt. The first pitch from Anderson misses too far low and inside as it goes all the way back to the backstop. So the count is 1-0 against the Kettleers catcher. Klein today 2 for 3, a pair of singles. Also grounded out to the second baseman Cameron Kim in inning number 2. But Klein with an RBI chops this one back up the middle. Diving grab by Call, but the ball just evades his glove, goes into center field. So Matt Klein picks up his 3rd single of the day as he's now 3 for 4. And Cotuit has a runner on with 1 out.
Yeah, how about Matt Klein today? Just continues his strong play, and talking about guys who maybe aren't in the lineup every single day, but still being able to keep things going. Of course, riding a 5-game hitting streak going into this ball game, clearly making his impact felt any moment that he can get, and 3 for 4 today, doing just that.
Matt Klein now has his batting average up to 350, and now here's another lefty. It's Brandon Compton. The first pitch misses high and outside for a ball 1. Compton, another productive day at the dish. 2 for 3, came around to score. Last inning also had an RBI. Compton now seeing his batting average sit at 274. Right in the heart of this Kettleer lineup. But before the 1-0 pickoff move, that Klein back in standing. There's a string of lefties in a row for Mike Roberts. The 2 through 5 hitters all batting from the left-hand side as the 1-0 pitch waved on and missed, and a pitch that was low in the zone to Compton. So that evens the count up at 1-1. Cotuit's offense continuing to come alive. They now have a hit in all 6 innings of play here at Red Wilson as they trail by a run. Another pickoff move. Klein back in standing. Not too big of a lead over there at first is the catcher from Louisville. The count remains at 1-1. Anderson, the righty, glove set just above the belt. Kicks and deals at one taken at the ankles for ball 2. So Compton pulls ahead in the count. Brandon Compton of late really swinging a hot bat. Joe, we talked about it earlier, but he's reached base in 19 of the last 20 games, really being a productive bat in this Mike Roberts lineup as the 2-1 pitch, fastball that's taken outside to the lefty Compton, so he's up in the count 3-1.
Good at-bat worked here by Brandon Compton. Another one, he's been able to reach base in all 3 of his first plate appearances and is 2 for 3. All the Kettleers are trying to do here is just get runners on base and hope they can come alive with runners in scoring position.
The 3-1 from Anderson, this one hit hard on the ground. That gets into right field, going underneath the glove of Petrie. Rounding second and heading for third is Matt Klein, so Brandon Compton picks up his 3rd hit of the ball game. Now the Kettleers are threatening with runners on first and third, still with just 1 out.
Yeah, and this is a massive opportunity for Charles Davalon, who also is a guy who hasn't been in the lineup every single day, but has continued to put in solid at-bats. And before being taken or not appearing in the game at Harwich on Friday, was riding a 4-game on-base streak and was swinging a hot bat and still making a difference even when the bat wasn't able to make an impact. But putting the ball in play is something that Davalon has been able to do at a premium, and it's something that he's done so far today. Reached on an error, reached on a fielder's choice, and drove a run in on a ground out.
So now here is Davalon working against Anderson. Runners on the corners. The first pitch to the lefty center fielder taken for a called strike number 1. Davalon so far this summer hitting .212, this being his 13th game played. 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Has an opportunity to even up this score at 7. Here in the top of the 6th, runners on the corners, just 1 out. Anderson, the righty, looks around, comes home with the pitch clock reading 2. As the 0-1 pitch taken beneath the knees, that evens the count up at 1-1. Anderson really working all of that 20-second pitch clock, delivering it, and it flashed too. Righty nods his head, comes set with the glove at the belt. Pitch clock reads 5, now kicks and deals. Waved on and missed at the 1-1 pitch is Davalon, so he falls behind in the count 1-2.
A great pitch there from Anderson, draws Davalon to chase after a pitch that's beneath the zone. And now he's one strike away from getting the crucial second out in this inning.
Anderson now up to 60 pitches so far, eating up 2 1/3 innings for the YD team. As the 1-2 pitch, that one a rocket into right field, that'll dunk down in front of Jackson Torello. Coming in to score is Klein. So it's an RBI single for Charles Davalon that evens the score up at 7 apiece here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, his first hit since the game at Wareham and drives in his 7th RBI of the season. Already his second in today's ball game, and that one's huge. Just to fall back in the count 1-2, but still have a solid 2-strike approach. He was all over that pitch and put it over the second baseman's head, perfectly into right center field. And Charles Davalon likely just ended the day for Caleb Anderson.
So a slow walk out to the mound could signify the end of the day for Caleb Anderson, who went 2 1/3 innings, did strike out a batter, allowed 4 runs, but this Cotuit offense once again falling behind, but managing to put up 14 hits so far through the top 7 or through top 6. 7-7 is your score. But Joe, one quick question is, the first 5 hitters in this Kettleer lineup, all with base hits, they're getting production up and down this lineup.
Yeah, they are. To have that top half clicking, but also the bottom half maybe having a bit of an off day when you look at the guys who are batting 4 through 9. There are only 3 hits amongst them, all of them off the bat of Easton Winfield. So for your 9 batter to get on base 3 times, 3 singles, and then the top half doing a great job to clean things up after him, it's been so massive. But to get those runners on base and in scoring position is huge, as that was just the second base hit of the day for the Kettleers with runners in scoring position to elevate themselves to 2 for 13. And they have left a lot of runners out there, and an opportunity to continue to bat around this lineup with just 1 out in this inning and a new arm into the game for the Red Sox.
Dylan Del Vecchio is the new arm for YD. We'll have more on him after this quick commercial break here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They offer breakfast and lunch, as well as indoor and outdoor dining. Check out Cape Cod Coffee at one of their 3 locations, on Route 130, at Mashpee Commons, and at Wareham Commons, or on their website at capecodcoffee.com. When the unexpected happens, make sure you and your assets are insured appropriately. The agents at Leonard Insurance Agency can tailor coverage to meet your needs. Call 508-428-6921 to talk to their licensed agents today. For nearly 2 decades, Coastal Irrigation has proudly provided top-notch irrigation and landscape lighting services across Cape Cod. Starting with just a handful of customers in Cotuit, they now serve nearly all of the Cape. Upgrade your lawn care with their modern irrigation systems. No more dragging around hoses or worrying about watering while you're away. Their systems ensure your grass stays healthy and green effortlessly. Transform your home with Coastal Irrigation's landscape lighting services. Enhance your outdoor gatherings, improve safety, and boost curb appeal with their affordable, low-voltage lighting solutions. Illuminate your walkways and highlight architectural details to make your home shine. Contact Coastal Irrigation at 508-428-1529 or info@coastalirrigation.net.
Dylan Del Vecchio is the new arm for YD. He comes into a tricky spot. Runners on first and second. Just 1 out here in this top of the 6th. Cotuit's already put up a run on the board to even the score at 7-7. But he comes in relief of Caleb Anderson, who goes 2 1/3, allows 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 are earned. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Did walk a batter and strike out a batter. But Joe Del Vecchio making his second appearance so far this summer against the Kettleers.
Yeah, the last time we were here at Red Wilson Field, he turned in 3 innings of work, did give up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, walked a man, struck out 2, and closed out the final 3 innings of that ball game against the Kettleers. But entering in a bit of a different situation. Last time, Kettleers up by 7 runs. This time, or excuse me, it was 5 runs, but this time they're knotted up at 7-7 in the midst of this top of the 6th.
So Del Vecchio comes in. The lefty works against the righty Nolan Naraki, who digs in for his 4th at-bat. Starts him out with a first pitch that's taken low and inside, gets away from the catcher LaCroix, but doesn't go too far down that third base line. So staying put at first and second are Brandon Compton and Charles Davalon. Kettleers currently 3 straight singles. Matt Klein, he came in and singled off the RBI single from Charles Davalon. Of course, Brandon Compton, he picked up his third hit. So Naraki, who's 0 for 3, looking to put a 1 in his hit total as the 1-0 pitch taken low and outside. Naraki checked his swing, but he does not go around, so the count is 2-0. Delvecchio, this is his 6th appearance so far this summer, has a 4.7 ERA. Has worked 7.2 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Has walked 4 and struck out 6. Also has hit 4 batters as Naraki swings away at the 2-0, lofting a foul ball over our heads.
Yeah, Delvecchio working into some trouble his first inning against the Kettleers, where he gave up a hit to Tyler Cerny, hit Kian Vu with a hit by pitch, and it was a little pop-up just outside of the infield that hit into the Bermuda Triangle by Jaron Advincula that drove in the 2 runs that the Kettleers have tagged him for. But after that, in that appearance, was able to work through the next 2 innings pretty much unscathed, walked 1 batter, and was 6 up, 6 down other than that.
Vincula stands in the on-deck circle here, getting set to face the lefty in Delvecchio. As the 2-1, Delvecchio takes a look back at Compton off second. Kicks and deals the 2-1, that one taken high and outside, so Naraki up in the count. 3-1 here.
Already 0 for 1 this season is Naraki against Delvecchio. Flew out to left field the last time he faced him.
Naraki hitting .268 so far this summer with the Kettleers. Comes up in a big spot with 2 runners on, looking to break this 7-7 tie. Delvecchio just behind our left shoulders. So the 7th pitch upcoming here to Naraki. Delvecchio, the lefty, a long look in. Glove set at the belt. Kicks and deals the payoff pitch to Naraki. Another foul ball line straight back off the netting.
It's a good battle worked here by Naraki, fouling off pitches. That one straight back to the screen. So seemingly he's on these pitches from Delvecchio, but that one he just missed it, fouled it straight back, and he continues to battle up there at 3-2.
2 consecutive foul balls for Nolan Naraki. This brings up the 8th pitch in this at-bat. Delvecchio deals his payoff pitch, spoiled once again. 3 straight foul balls off the bat of Nolan Naraki has worked this, or kept this count at full. This is the type of at-bat that you want to have if you're Nolan Naraki facing Dylan Delvecchio for the first time today, second, of course, this season. Long look in. Kicks and deals the payoff pitch is Delvecchio. This one hitting the left field. This could be trouble. Tracking it is R.J. Austin. It one hops off the fence. Coming in to score is Compton. Falling behind him is Davalon, but he puts the brakes over there at third. As Nolan Naraki stays hot, he laces a 1-out double that gives the Kettleers an 8-7 lead.
That one rocketed off the bat of Nolan Naraki, who was just looking for his pitch, having fouled off the previous 4. And the 9th pitch of the at-bat bounces off the base of the wall in left center. And that's just a massive base knock for him, who was struggling at the dish so far today, but swinging a hot bat in his last 5 starts. And he is able to drive in the go-ahead runs of this ballgame.
Naraki picks up RBI 12 as there's still runners on second and third. Bringing in the infield is YD against the lefty Jaron Advincula. Advincula today 0 for 3. Delvecchio taking a long look out on the mound here. As he comes home with a pitch clock reading 3. The throw down to third. Not in time as Davalon has to scamper back. The first pitch to Advincula was taken high at the letters for ball number 1. A nice throw down there from LaCroix, keeping Davalon honest over there at third. So Advincula today 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of the contest. Still hitting at a 380 clip as the 1-0 pitch runs inside. Advincula falls to the ground, sits down, dirties up those pinstripe pants.
Fell on the seat of his pants.
Seen that a couple of times from Advincula so far this summer, where he just likes to sit down. But the infield remains in.
Very active in the box.
The 2-0 to the lefty Kettleers second baseman is a breaking ball that misses too far inside. So Advincula up in the count 3-0 here. Pair of groundouts and a pop-up for Advincula. Comes up in a big spot here. Kettleers lead 8-7 after the RBI double from Nolan Araki, who stands on second. Leading off third is Charles Davalon. The 3-0 to Advincula. That one a high looping breaking ball that crosses the plate low. So it's a walk for Jaron Advincula, and the bases are once again loaded for Cotuit, still with one out here in this top of the sixth.
Yeah, well, not the worst case scenario for Yarmouth Dennis, as both of their middle infielders will have a chance to step back, play at normal depth, and try to turn two here with the bases now juiced. But it's Tyler Cerny who has done a solid job of making strong contact and putting the ball in play. It's just another one of these ball games where he hasn't been able to squeeze it through some of the gaps of this infield.
Cerny today 0 for 3 with a hard line out, a fly out, and a ground out to Phoenix Call over there at shortstop. Swing away at the first pitch is Cerny, hitting a high towering pop-up that stays on the infield. Camping underneath it is the first baseman, Ethan Petrie, who gloves it for the second out, and a big out there for Dylan Delvecchio as Tyler Cerny goes down on just one pitch.
Yeah, definitely another frustrating day at the plate for Tyler Cerny, but maybe at the beginning of the season we would have seen him get a bit more visibly frustrated after an at-bat like that, where he gets underneath it and pops it up, but there just tosses the bat to his right. You know, he doesn't need to put on the show of emotion that he has earlier on in the season. It's good to see that he is kind of maturing as a player and being able to be more okay with some of those mistakes.
Lefty-lefty matchup here as it's Easton Winfield digging in for his fourth at-bat today. A guy who's gotten off to a really hot start, 3 for 3, has scored a pair of runs, was caught stealing, however, was Winfield as the 1-0 from Delvecchio. Leg kick taken the opposite batter's box to the lefty Winfield, who played this past season at Louisiana Monroe, entered his name into the transfer portal, and is heading to Texas, teaming up with Cotuit slugger Max Ballou. But Winfield looking to improve on his already scorching day at the plate. Bases are loaded. The 2-0 pitch from Delvecchio in around the knees. That's looked at for a called strike one, so the count is 2-1. Winfield's been a driving force at the bottom of this Kettleer order. Scored 2 runs, and Joe, that's something we talked about earlier, having base runners on for a guy like Devin Taylor who stands in the on-deck circle. As the 2-1 pitch, a hard foul ball. That goes to the left of the press box. So the count is even at 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Bases are loaded. Cotuit leads 8-7.
Yeah, anytime you can have your 9-man in the order get on base at a high clip, and then the leadoff man is able to act as kind of the second.
Pitch to Strand, the base is loaded here in this top of the sixth. Long look in, the pitch clock reads 3. Now comes set at 2. Kicks and deals with it, leading with 1. Winfield hits this one hard on the ground to tip it at second, who fields cleanly. Throw is in time for the third and final out here in this top of the sixth, but not before Cotuit regains the lead after an RBI single from Charles Davalon and the RBI double from Nolan Araki. We head it to the bottom half of the inning with the Kettleers leading the Red Sox 8-7 here on the Kettleers Radio Network.
The Cape Cod League All-Star Game is just a few weeks away. Cheer on your favorite Kettleers as they square off with some of the best players on the Cape. This year's game will be played in July 27th. The gates open up at 1:30 p.m. ahead of the 6 o'clock first pitch. All-Star Game tickets can be found at capecodleague.com/All-Star Game. Or you can find out more information about the tickets at the Kettleers store.
The Kettleers baseball clinics are well underway in the summer of 2024, offering boys and girls ages 6 through 17 with the opportunity to learn from some of the most experienced coaches and some of the top college baseball players in the country. With no prior baseball experience necessary, the camps teach kids the fundamentals of baseball, as well as good citizenship, sportsmanship, and character. With just a few weeks of camp left, time is running out. So to sign up, head over to info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. Again, that's info.collegebaseballcamps.com/CK. We hope to see you there. Be a part of historic Lowell Park and support the Cotuit Kettleers by purchasing a paver engraved with your personal message to be placed in the new Walk of Champions. For more information, visit the Cotuit Kettleers website.
497.
Mike Roberts goes to his bullpen for a third time here in this bottom of the sixth at Red Wilson Field. Cotuit leads YD 8-7. Luis Misla, the fourth pitcher used so far for Cotuit today, as he comes in relief of Zach Duenas, who goes 2 innings, allows just 1 hit, doesn't allow a run, walks 2, struck out 2, while tossing 32 pitches, but it's his second appearance so far this summer for Luis Misla, as he gets set to face the dangerous 4, 5, 6 hitters in this YD order.
Get some more looks on Misla, who's another guy on this roster who's had a small sample size to the season. We obviously saw Dylan Hawanitz and then Zach Duenas both making their Kettleers debuts at Red Wilson Field here today. And how massive would that be for this team to throw 2 brand new guys to this roster out on the bump today and still come away with the victory? And Luis Misla, who was with the Kettleers at the start of the summer, was released because of the amount of pitchers who were coming to this roster. But Mike Roberts said, I want to see him back on this roster by late July, and it came early for him.
Lefty-lefty matchup here, facing Anthony Martinez for the first time. At first pitch taken well outside and low for a ball 1. Martinez today 2 for 3, back-to-back RBI singles as Misla gets ahead of curveball that's looked at to even the count up at 1-1. But Martinez today 2 for 3. 3 RBI, so swinging a hot bat from the left side, but Misla pulls ahead here as Martinez waves through the 1-1 pitch. Misla, though, this is his second appearance this summer, struggled in his first outing against Bourne, coming back on July 6th. Misla, the lefty, glove set at the belt, kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch taken well low and outside. That evens the count up at 2-2. But Misla in that game, Joe, allowed 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned, walked a batter, and struck out a batter, while only getting 2 hitters out as Martinez tips that straight into the glove of Matt Klein, so he goes down on strikes. That's a big first out for Luis Misla, who comes out of the bullpen.
Yeah, it'll be the 4th arm used by the Kettleers so far today, starting with Bodendorf, who went 2+, Hawanitz went 1+, and then Duenas pitching from the 4th into the 5th inning, and now we get to see Luis Misla trying to get a bunch of different arms involved in today's game.
Cotuit used just 3 pitchers last night. Now here's the first baseman, Ethan Petrie, who takes the first offering low. Joey Volchko, James Ellwanger, and Cade Fisher all went for the Kettleers last night, allowing just 1 run in a 3-1 victory against Bourne. 2-0 is the count here against the YD first baseman, who's 0 for 2 today. Did reach on a hit by pitch. As the 2-0, that's looked at for a called strike 1, so 2-1 is the count. Petrie still hitting at a high clip, despite the 0 for 2 day. 346 as he swings at the 2-1, grounds that softly right at the YD dugout on the third base line. So the count is evened up at 2-2 here. You saw the lefty working against the righty Petrie. Red glove set above the belt, kicks and deals the 2-2. Taken at the letters and just a tad outside. So the count runs full here against Petrie. 1 gone here in this bottom of the 6th. As Misla deals the payoff pitch, Petrie smacks this one into center field, backtracking is Davlon, who leaps up, but that ball is not coming back. Luis Misla leaves the pitch right down the heart of the plate, and Ethan Petrie smacks it to straightaway center. And once again, this ball game is tied as YD makes it 8-8 here in the bottom of the 6th.
4th homer of the summer for Ethan Petrie, and that one barely eclipsing the right center field wall. Charles Davlon leaped up for it and maybe nearly got a piece of it, but that ball punished by Ethan Petrie. It was one that was left over the plate by Luis Misla. And that's the 3rd time today that Cotuit pitching has let one fly over the heart of the plate to one of these power hitters for YD, and they make them pay.
Petrie, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs so far this summer, playing in 16 games. And now here is Jackson Chiarello. Count is 0-1 to him. Chiarello was used as a pinch hitter for Cameron Kim, who was 0 for 2. But Chiarello bounced into a 6-3 double play, that coming back in the bottom of the fourth as Miesla pulls ahead with an 0-1 pitch that's looked at for a called strike too. So that's the response that you want to have if you're Luis Miesla after giving up the solo bomb or in 2 strikes here against the next man you face. It's the 0-2 pitch to the lefty. Chiarello looked at for a ball 1 that was taken low and inside. Chiarello hitting .343, playing in his 18th game. 12 for 35, has blasted a home run, has 6 RBIs this summer. As the 1-2 pitch to the lefty, got him looking. Chiarello thought it was ball 2, but he's called out on strike, so he is punched out for the first time today as Miesla picks up his second strikeout of the inning, and now that brings up Talmadge LaCroix with 2 outs.
Yeah, wasting no time there against Jackson Chiarello. Throws 4 pitches, 1 pitch missed, low and outside, but all 3 called strikes other than that. Luis Miesla, a great response after giving up the homer to Petrie.
Falls behind LaCroix here. On a first pitch breaking ball, LaCroix today 1 for 2. Hit a home run in his first at bat as a YD Red Sox. Now Miesla falling behind. The 1-0 pitch spiked in the dirt, so the count is 2-0. LaCroix playing in his first game. Got here an hour before yesterday's game for YD. As the 2-0 from the lefty, Miesla once again misses beneath the knees, so the count is 3-0. But LaCroix blasted a home run, was hit by a pitch, also grounded out in his 3 plate appearances. As Miesla kicks and deals the 3-0, that one taken low and outside for ball 4. So it's the first walk issued today for Luis Miesla, and YD has a 2-out base run.
Now batting for the
Phenomenal 2-out hitting approach for these YD Red Sox, and fitting with a guy as experienced as Scott Pickler being their field manager, entering and has coached in over 25 seasons in the CCBL, is the winningest coach in CCBL history. So clearly having a good approach and coaching these guys right when they fall back to 2 outs and down to 2 strikes in the count.
Clouds continuing to darken overhead here at Red Wilson Field as the first pitch to the third baseman, Gavin Gallagher, looked at for strike number 1. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Cotuit and YD evened up at 8. In an offensive explosion for both these teams, 25 hits, 15 for Cotuit, 10 for YD. Is swing away at the 0-1 pitch is Gallagher. That one shriveled foul down the third base line. So he falls behind 0-2 with 2 outs, and the inning leading off first is LaCroix. Gallagher, he's 1 for 2. Also walked, struck out, and does have an RBI to his name. As he swings away at the 0-2 pitch, fouls that one over our shoulders. So Gallagher staying alive, fouling off back-to-back pitches here against Miesla. He's gotten 2 strikeouts so far. Looking to pick up his third. And Strand LaCroix off first. The 0-2 pitch from the lefty Miesla. This one hit into right field. Camping underneath it is Easton Winfield. But he runs out of room as that gets out of play. So once again, another foul ball off the bat of Gavin Gallagher. As this battle continues to roll on. Miesla, 23 pitches, 13 strikes. Has gone 2/3 of an inning, has recorded 2 strikeouts. Of course, gave up the home run that evened the score against Ethan Petrie. Well, LaCroix takes his lead off first, being held on by Tanner Thatch. The 0-2 pitch runs too far inside to the righty Gallagher. Backs him up out of the batter's box as the count now goes to 1-2. Gallagher hitting .267 so far with YD. As Miesla takes a long look in, glove set just above the belt. Kicks and deals the 1-2 pitch. Gallagher stays alive again, ropes this one foul down the third base line. 6 pitches so far in this at-bat.
That's what happens when you give up a 2-out walk, having to work a lot more against another batter, having to face a whole nother batter, and great at-bat work by Gallagher.
The 1-2 pitch, this one hit hard on the ground to the third baseman, Naraki, who stabs it the throw in time as Tanner Thatch nearly pulling him off the bag. But Thatch is able to keep the foot on the bag for the third out of the inning, but not before YD evens a score at 8 after Ethan Petrie blasts his 4th home run of the summer. And before we head to a break, we'll bring on the third member of our team, Adele Huffman, who has more.
Thanks, Alex. And we could not leave YD without talking about the donuts. And there are 3 types that I was informed about by Don Kelly, who was working the station over there. He said number 1 is the hurler, which is second is the screamer, which is the Boston cream donut with American or cheddar cheese whiz. And the third, last but not least, is the lightest of the 3, most healthy, the triple play. This is the basic donut with an original glaze topped off with American cheese, burger, and bacon. So I almost went over there and got one and had you 2 try it on the broadcast, but I thought it might be awkward when you guys just didn't want to do it. So I asked some of our interns who went ahead and tried the triple play, Dennis and Shane, and they said it was a mixture of sweet and salty, but then the bacon just added that perfect mix in there. And I was talking to Terry, one of our really great Cotuit Kettleers fans, and he said it took him 4 years to muster up the courage to try the jelly donut burger. And after he did it, he's had it every single year since. So, maybe the 3 of us need to just take that chance on the donut.
I mean, if we're here by the playoffs, but it looks like that is going to conclude the second time that we are here. Sorry to cut you off, Adele, but
no
Alex,
worries, Joe.
We just noticed that the umpiring crew was talking things over with Scott Pickler and Mike Roberts, and it looks like they're going to forego the final 3 innings of this ball game, and it will end at 8-8.
Kind of just happened out of nowhere as Mike Roberts was caught talking, but that'll do it here from Red Wilson Field. Cotuit and YD tie at 8. And Ethan Petrie's home run in the bottom of the 6th serves as the game-tying home run. And Joe, just a crazy game offensively. Cotuit with 8 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. And Joe, we really saw this top of the lineup come alive for the Kettleers.
Yeah, we really did. I mean, starting off with Devin Taylor, who grounded out his first time up, but after that, 2 quick singles, and that was in response to Easton Winfield down in the bottom of the order, who went 3 for 4 today at the plate. Tanner Thatch with another home run today, and Brandon Compton, Matt Klein, both with multi-hit games. Actually, both of those guys with 3-hit games. So to have the top half of this order all rattle off multi-hit games, 15 hits for the Kettleers, 10 hits for the YD Red Sox in an 8-8 finish. This is one where if you're Cotuit, you got to look back and think that you had to hit a little bit better with runners in scoring position. They ended up leaving 10 men on base, went 3 for 16 in that category. It was timely pitching and a couple of very timely home run balls by the Armith Dennis Red Sox that kept them in this ball game and eventually knotted it up at 8-8, which is where we ended it. So sorry that Adele wasn't able to continue to talk about the hurler and the other burger, I guess, donut sandwiches that they have here at Red Wilson Field. Obviously, we weren't able to try it, but maybe if we're here come playoff time at the end of the season, we'll have an opportunity to do so. But Adele Huffman having to quickly rush around to the field to try to get ready for this post-game interview with Mike Roberts.
Adele was making me hungry. All this burger talk. I've already, of course, tried a hot dog on the call, so it would be something a little interesting to try this burger. I am a burger fan, so.
Yeah. Well, when Connor Smith was walking around the ballpark the other day and interviewing all the interns, as he so randomly does, he was asking everybody if it was hot dog or hamburger. And we know that you were a resounding yes to hamburger. So I guess we didn't change any of your opinions about the hot dog in Chatham.
See, I still liked hot dogs, but going back to the game, as Cotuit and YD tie at 8, you mentioned the key home runs for this Red Sox offense. 3 home runs allowed today by this Cotuit pitching staff, and none bigger than the home run hit by Ethan Petrie.
Yeah, no, not at all. And a guy like that who finds himself in key moments at the end of the game, or what ended up to be a key moment at the end of the game, and the Kettleers were, as we just saw, are a couple outs away from escaping that 16th win of the season. Ends up being the second tie of the year for Yarmouth Dennis and first tie of the year for the Kettleers. But yeah, Ethan Pentry, who really struggled at the plate going into that last at-bat, was 0 for 2, took a hit by pitch, and really wasn't given an opportunity in that third plate appearance, but made the most of it in his fourth plate appearance in the 6th inning, putting that ball just over the right center field fence, and that ends up being a crucial difference in this ball game where the Kettleers are trying to build some traction, build some momentum against Wareham, who's in the one spot in this division, who the Kettleers, if they were able to win this game and a Wareham loss tomorrow, would mean that they're the number 1 team in the West Division, but now things are definitely going to get shaky with the way that this tie plays into things, and it just relatively, I guess, evens them up with the Gatemen, who also have a tie. Hyannis also with a tie. Those teams didn't play tonight. Cotuit not playing tomorrow. But for them to try to build some breathing room away from Hyannis, try to gain some ground on Wareham, they're not really able to do either of those tonight with the tie and it kind of evening out.
Harrison Bodendorf got the ball for Cotuit. He went 2 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, which were all earned. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 4, but allowed 2 of the 3 home runs for this YD offense. And Dylan Hawanitz came out of the bullpen, struggled in his Kettleer debut, going an inning, allowing 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. But really after that, Zach Duenas and Luis Misla coming in, going 3 innings, allowing just 2 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, it was a great performance from Zach Duenas, who entered into this ball game also in a difficult situation like Dylan Hawanitz. And Duenas went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. But for Hawanitz, it's just so difficult to be thrust into a situation like that with a runner on third, having to face R.J. Austin, who hit over 330 this past season at Vanderbilt. And so having to face a guy down 1-0 in the count, he was already 1 for 1 on the day with his first homer of the summer. And then Anthony Martinez, Ethan Petry, clearly got caught into a situation where it was just really difficult for him to work himself out of that inning. And Cameron Kim, who had a difficult play at the plate, was able to make a big difference by putting the ball in play, forcing an error by Dylan Hawanitz, and that also turns out to be a big difference in this ball game. With so many key plays in the game, plenty of mistakes by the infield, maybe some missed pitches, walks, hit by pitches, you overlook a lot of interesting key moments in the game that definitely have an impact on the outcome of the game. And that one, the error back in the 3rd inning, is definitely one that you look at and maybe point out and saying, if that throw is made at second base, maybe a couple more of those runs for YD don't come in to score, and this game could end 8-7, 8-6.
There are errors committed by both sides. Cotuit, of course, with that 1 error like you were mentioning. But YD with 3 errors of their own. Ethan Petry had 1. Cameron Kim, he struggled in the field. He had a fielding error. Phoenix Call also had 1 at short. So defense really wasn't a strong suit for either of these teams today. But I'm glad that you brought up that point of just the fact that baseball is a game of inches, and sometimes it's those little plays that we don't normally talk about that end up being vital in the outcome of this game. As Cotuit ties YD at 8. And just in moments, Adele Huffman will be joined by head coach Mike Roberts. And now we'll send it to Adele, who stands alongside with Mike Roberts.
Thanks, Joe and Alex. What an amazing broadcast, as always. My name's Adele Huffman, joined alongside head coach Mike Roberts, and this is the 10th inning. Coach Roberts, 8-8 tie at YD today. You used a few new arms. What did you like from them?
Well, I needed to see them. I don't know them well. I had seen a bullpen of our new guys, and I think the lack of experience probably showed up, and it's our job in really good competition to get them that experience. So I appreciate them going out there. It gave us a good picture. Now we got to go back, and we got a lot of work to do.
What does a tie between the number 1 in the East Division, YD, and the number 2 in the West Division, Cotuit, show about the level of competition here tonight?
Well, I think both of them are both teams are pretty good teams. I think the level of play today was subpar by both teams. Too many errors, too many walks, too many hit batsmen, that type thing. But there were some very good things. We had some great at bats. Naraki's at bat to actually get us to the 8th run was a tremendous at bat. And again, I see good things every day. As I told the team after the game, we just got to polish and polish and polish. And we got 4 new pitchers joining us tomorrow. So if people get there early for games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they'll see the Kettleers practicing before the game.
And Coach, Tanner Thatch able to take a few days off but not miss a beat, coming in with a home run in the first inning. What does that say about him?
Well, this is Tanner's second year with us. I consider him kind of the leader of our club, both on and off the field. He's aggressive, boy. He attacks. He has a couple swings today that hurt my back, and that he didn't hit the baseball. But I love seeing him at the plate. All the confidence in the world, and I'm glad he's back from the wedding he had to attend, and we love having him in the lineup every day.
Well, thank you, Coach, and enjoy the day off tomorrow.
There won't be any day off, but I'll enjoy the day.
Enjoy. Tomorrow with a day off, but we'll see you again Wednesday at home at 5 at Lowell Park against Orleans. This has been Adele Huffman at Merrill Red Wilson Field. We'll see you on Wednesday, Cotuit family.
Awesome work once again from Adele Huffman, who was joined by head coach Mike Roberts after the 8-8 tie between the Cotuit Kettleers and the YD Red Sox. And Joe, something that they mentioned in that interview, of course, the off day tomorrow, but Mike Roberts not really treating it as an off day and wanting the Kettleers to get better. Saw some things that he wanted to clean up from tonight's performance, but Cotuit back in action on Wednesday against Orleans, and this is an Orleans team that has struggled so far with a 7-17 record. How does Cotuit look to build momentum off this 8-8 tie?
Well, this is a Orleans team that really brought Cotuit into a difficult battle the last time they played on July 2nd at Lowell Park. Orleans winning that game 4-3. They drew a lot of errors and defensively for the Kettleers, so it's something that, as we saw tonight and as Mike Roberts just mentioned, they're going to have to improve upon. And this is an Orleans team that really has struggled, but they have won 3 not play today, so maybe a bit of an extra off day of rest, and they'll be fresh going into the game on Wednesday, but they will play tomorrow against the best team in the league, Wareham. So we'll see how that fares, and we'll be able to break all of that down and preview game 26 of the season when we see you on the Kettleers starting 9 from Lowell